We'll do it live! Fuck it! This is the most cursed stream in the history of this esteemed professional podcast. Ugh, God fucking damn it. Hi everybody, this is Monastery Live, the world's greatest shit show, and that has never been more apparent than tonight. I am, as always, your one and only goddamn gaming monk, better known as Mildra, and with me I have three of my good brothers. We have the most pissed off man in Chicago, good brother Aaron. Say something.
Where's my liquor?
We have...
Oh, for a second I got worried his mic cut out again.
We have the most pissed off stack of comic books in Mr. Doku.
Good evening.
And we have the most pissed off brony in Flutter Guy. How the fuck is everybody doing?
Oh god.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those instances of piss and vinegar.
Yeah.
And because of that,
What?
we're not even starting yet, and already, ladies and gentlemen, rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the soundboard working? Are we 3 for 3? Fuck it, drink.
Yeah.
Oh, tonight is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
And
Now
my
the sound.
and my soundboard decided to hang.
Yeah, 3 for 3.
Jesus Christ! Someone cursed this fucking stream.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. School!
School!
Skull!
Where's my liquor?
Skull, motherfucker. Skull.
Haven't even gotten to the docket.
Yeah.
Haven't even gotten to the docket and already crushed
Now,
a beer and a half.
If there's any positive, as some of you have noticed if you follow the channel, I have been doing the RPG a Day 2019 challenge. So I'm doing it as a short video, basically doing it as off-the-cuff vlog style instead of getting questions, we're getting conversation starter words each day. So I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a new short video on this matter up every day throughout the month of August. Hopefully.
Assuming you don't run into any more technical difficulties, that is.
Exactly.
Yeah, really.
Doku? Don't fucking jinx.
Don't jinx, please.
Knock on wood. There we go. You should be safe.
There we go. Toss some salt over your shoulder. Just make sure not to hit any bikers.
Yeah. Don't hit Seabass. Otherwise, he'll be mad like he was during the fucking Stanley Cup final. Remember that? Remember that clip where he threw a fucking water bottle after St. Louis humiliated him?
Oh yeah, I remember. Now then, I didn't get a whole lot of a response for the Successes of Steel video, but I didn't expect that one was going to get a huge push because of the subject matter.
Right.
And because they probably heard my god-awful attempt at doing the narration that Conan's father did. On the plus side,
Right.
Anybody who's a fan of anime and anybody who's a fan of historical style anime, watch Vinland Saga.
Yeah.
Bro, that show has been fucking awesome.
And Hairball, I used the SCU joke before we went live, so beat you to the punch there. The Now, next week, if all goes as planned, you will see a review of Mythender from me, whose subtitle is Kick-Ass Erase Names. Also, if somebody ends up running Mythender, be prepared for a lot of D6s. A lot of D6s.
Are we talking Shadowrun?
Close.
Oh.
Ah.
But let's not waste any time. Let's get straight to the fucking thing. So we'll start off with the Kickstarter Spotlight, and the first one I came across thanks to it getting a shout out on one of Nick's streams. Kingdoms of the Dump, an SNES style RPG with platforming elements set in a fantasy world of trash.
Ooh.
Oh, so basically Crouchland.
Yep, it is a world of trash created by two real-life janitors.
Oh, I wonder if Oscar the Grouch will make a guest appearance.
Although I do have to love this description
sounds fucking
here.
awesome.
The King of Garbagia has been trash-picked. Disgraced Squire Dustin Binsley is blamed for the kidnapping and must embark on a mission to clear his name. Cross the lands of Phil, uncovered hidden secrets in the trash, and expose the evil organization trying to destroy the kingdoms of the dump.
Ocasio-Cortez?
Okay, we've got a bit of character swapping. We have on-field abilities like Scrap from Dustin and Climb from Ratvia and Shoot from Walker Jacket.
Oh, this got the same art style as Earthbound.
Yeah.
Although it's not using exactly the same the same setup, because you have movement and placement being important for a turn-based game. That's an interesting approach.
Exactly.
Wait, so hold on, Mildred, are you telling me that somebody has taken the time out of their day to give us Downtown San Francisco, the RPG?
No, this is trash. That would be poo.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Downtown LA. Gotcha.
Kira's saying that it's New Jersey.
No, this is Baltimore, dude.
Oh.
Well, I've seen
Shit, the bad thing is you wouldn't be wrong.
I've seen the Orioles play, so you're not wrong. And as as a certain ad once said, "Fuck you, Baltimore."
Yeah.
But hey, at least you'll. And I would say it's Baltimore because you seems, from what I'm looking at, it seems like you meet up with a lot of RUSs.
Rodents of unusual size? I don't think they exist. And I do like that our gunman is a librarian who has spent years chasing down overdue books and lost library cards.
Oh boy!
Like, I might send this Kickstarter over to Shades. I think he would get a kick out of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Nah, this shit looks funny as hell. I kind of want to back this.
Yeah, we have. But we also have the Turgios Kingdom, ruled by Queen Drinkleen III, with locations such as Needlepoint, the Laundry Forest, and Fawcett Falls. A kingdom of bugs, a carpet kingdom, a mammalian which is ruled by the Great Dane. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Well, if anybody was ever wondering what janitors do when they go missing in the janitorial closet for hours at a time, you have your answer.
Wait. Look at this. Scrapmaster Collector's Edition SNES box.
This is amazing.
I'm
definitely tossing some bucks.
Oh, there's a giant rat in the game. Yes, this is Baltimore.
Shit, Baltimore confirmed.
Besides, one of the other character players is a loot.
Mm-hmm. And
this is fucking great.
apparently one of their stretch goals is to get a guest track from Hiroki Kikuta of Secret of Mana fame.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely tossing some money at this. This is
Let's
fucking
see.
great.
This looks good.
They were asking for 60,000. They're currently at 56.6K. They've got 9 days to go. I pray to the holy of holies that this manages to make it. Like this is something we need. And best of all, the devs behind this are from Philly.
Oh, this is going to be wonderful.
Which is probably why they're so well associated with trash. I mean, have you seen the Sixers?
No, fuck that. How about the Flyers? At least the Sixers make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but don't expect that to happen anytime soon because they decided to blow it up. Trust the process.
Right.
Condolences to Liz Finnegan.
Mm-hmm.
No, that would be out of character for me. Shitting on Philly is a international pastime. So next we have something that is making a bit of a comeback in Fiasco. Fiasco is one of the
game of Plans Gone Wrong.
Yeah, Fiasco is one of the better narrativist style games because it does not take itself seriously at all. They're asking for 10,000. They're currently at 54.8. They've got 30 days to go.
Wow, they
Damn.
must have did one hell of a pregame if they went 5 times over or with a month left.
Fiasco is a very long running stalwart in the indie gaming scene. So they had the rapport in order to do it. This is not a new edition of Fiasco. What it is them trying to make a card-based variant, basically Fiasco in a box.
Ah.
I see.
It's meant to be played in a few hours with 6-sided dice and no preparation. You engineer and play out stupid, disastrous situations, usually at the intersection of greed, fear, and lust. Sometimes not in that order. They describe it as making your own Coen Brothers movie, in about the amount of time it'd take to watch one. And that's the reason why I think Fiasco has managed to endure. Plus, there's a shit ton of place at PDS for Fiasco.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We have an object, a relationship, a need, and a location. And it's basically the same. It's basically the same as regular Fiasco. It's just that it's being set up like a card game RPG hybrid.
Exactly.
The engine cards I think is going to be the replacement for the D6 roll. So you have bad and worst tilts and an aftermath totals of 0.
Oh God, no! No!
What?
Shut up, Wesley.
He's not making the game. He just covered it on an episode.
Yeah.
I know he ain't making the game, but I don't want to see his face. Ugh.
Shut up,
yeah.
Wesley.
Oh God! One of the other testimonials is from Kelly Conic.
Who?
Kelly Sidiconic.
Oh yeah, the bitch who ruined Captain Marvel and tried her very best to ruin Aquaman.
And now it looks like he's gonna ruin fucking Black Widow.
Oh.
Yep. So the next one that we have is is MagnoMia, an RPG of Renaissance wizardry. They're asking for 12.125 thousand, and they're currently at 3.7 thousand with 20 days to go. This one might be a bit trickier.
Yeah.
So, as they say, it is trying to be a fantasy RPG based on the 16th century, with the PCs being wizards.
Oh my God! This is
And, I've got our first warning flag here. It's using Fate.
No wonder nobody's interested. Number 2, like I said, it doesn't look like they pre-gamed.
It doesn't look like they pre-gamed, and more importantly, anybody who's looking at this and saying that and is going to say, what can you do that can't already be done in Ars Magica? Because when it comes to Renaissance style wizardry where your player characters are wizards, that's what's going to come to mind for people. And also, Kier, I know what you're trying to feed on, and the answer is no. I do not have anything from Evo, and especially not what you're trying to fish for. If you want to fish, then sorry, we're not in season yet, and I don't want to deal with the fishing mafia.
Exactly.
Okay, who brought a kazoo to the set?
I just announced fishing season has been opened. By the way, that's a reference to that rabbit season, duck season episode.
Oh yeah.
Whenever the season's open, over there's that horn sound that's just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Cure, I'm not covering cross tag battle. You want to do that? Do that on your own time.
Exactly.
What the hell is this? That's fucking cross tag battle.
Blaze Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's something else.
Yeah. The problem that I'm sure this is I'm not gonna slag on MagnoMia too hard, but what I think he needs to focus on is you need to much better illustrate what makes your iteration unique, because just already using an already established system is not going to help you much.
Yeah,
and especially a system as bloated as Fate is. Like everybody's got something on Fate. That's why Fate and Powered by the Apocalypse don't exactly jump at me. Second off, even if you don't want to be compared to it, you're gonna be compared to Ars Magica. There's no getting around that.
Some tells me, despite his experience in tabletop gaming, this sounds like his first rodeo.
Yeah,
it is. This is his first Kickstarter.
Oof! He should have pre-gamed then.
exactly.
Well, I've been getting on the guys behind Carbine Jungle on their pre-gaming, and they've at least taken some of the advice to heart. Now the next one, this is full disclosure, and the reason why I cover this is that James Streisand, aka is also known as Ash of Creativity. He is on our server, and he and I have had lengthy discussions about our frustrations with 5th edition, and this is his attempt to put his money where his mouth is, because his frustration is rooted in the fact that the official support that 5th edition gets is stuck in the Tolkien melting pot, and he wants to do something more than that. So he's creating Astral Tides. What's called a break Kickstarter? What the hell is that?
What the fuck is a break Kickstarter?
Good question.
Boundary breaking campaigns. That doesn't tell me a whole lot. But I've spoken with Ash a bunch of times, and he is well aware of my critiques with 5th edition, and a lot of them he certainly doesn't fault me for. But I think what's the case in point with this matter is what he says in the first paragraph. The time has come to bring plain shopping adventures, ships, races, etc. back to life using 5e. We've been rather starved for content that isn't generic Fantasyland up until the releases of a paid setting playtest and a MTG conversion from Wizards. It's time we, the player base, had access to a new and exciting plurality of mechanics and settings, not simple gazetteers. It seems that what he wants to do is bring back Spelljammer. And so far, he's asking for only 2,000. He's currently at 1,275.
Yeah.
And Game Fan, I cannot save you from the Sentai, and don't bring up Toku in the Monastery.
Wrong stream.
But he's got 26 days to go. I might pitch in a bit just to help out. But
yeah, he'll make it.
Yeah, he will.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope he got enough freaking eyes on this before he went to work on this Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Well,
Again.
Well, you're worried about what happened to what happened to Awful Good Games when their Kickstarter got finished.
Yep.
Well, if it happens, we will screen cap it and take shots at anybody who tries to pull that shit again.
Exactly.
So the next one is called Great Sword, and I found out about this through the RPG Kickstarter Facebook group that I'm in.
Ah.
Now, this is where I have to raise my eyebrow a bit. They are saying that it's designed for tactical combat with streamlined mechanics.
Oh, there's that word.
Those two things don't quite go together. Now, granted, you can do streamlined proper. I mean, Unity does that pretty well, and it worked. But
yeah.
Let's see. So apparently,
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Apparently, this Kickstarter is just to make the game to pay for printing and distribution costs. The game is already out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, and they need $15,000 redos. Huh.
No, it's 15. Oh, was that a Nazi joke?
Yeah, every time we're talking about Australian money, I call it. They're called dollar dues.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, and apparently it'll also fund the development of new books and expansions for that universe. It's already on DriveThruRPG, and they've got a preview. Let's see, it is built for
characters.
They state that they wanted an RPG that felt like an action RPG video game, like Diablo or Torchlight, but on tabletop. Something that was fast and intense to play, but had a lot of tactical choices, agency, and depth. Okay. Core book is 250 pages long. He wants to have easy to learn, hard to master rules. Let's see. It goes on a bit. I will say that I do appreciate his art style.
Yeah.
All right, and let's see. He's doing a one-roll D20 system, so the Omni system, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, so D20 plus modifiers versus difficulty. Okay, that's standard.
Yeah.
I will say and actually, even when it comes to the character sheet itself, I'm still being reminded of I'm still being reminded of the Omni system that is used with Atlantis and Hellas.
Right.
Let's see as far as the monk as a magic user raises my eyebrow.
Okay.
Nope.
No, that doesn't work.
Unless
Nope.
you're trying to have the monk also be a cleric. The only time that ever worked was Guild Wars 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really.
But
Otherwise, nope.
he's
bad.
got a good start here, but I need to see exactly what makes his game unique. So I may look into the preview down the line, but Kyoryu's going full Scotsman in the chat.
Oh, damn.
All right, now as far as the news goes, now Green Ronin is publishing a new IP, this time based on the 5th season books, which normally I would say that's good. Here's the problem, though. It's using the Chronicle system. The same system, mind you, that was used for the Game of Thrones RPG. Do you remember what
Oh, no. Nope.
God.
Nope.
No. No.
Do you remember what my bitch was when it came to
Where's
that?
my liquor?
Do you remember what my bitch was when it came to that system?
Too fucking complicated.
No. Too many attribute scores.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Too many attribute scores, and it felt like a poor man's roll and keep.
Ugh.
But the only thing beyond that I'd have to say on that matter is why are you bringing Critical Role into this? The only thing that they have in common with this matter is that Green Ronin also publishes the Tal de Rey setting that Critical Role uses.
Critical Role. Ugh.
Yeah.
Fucking drink.
The drink.
Next, we have a full-on launch date for Stygian Reign of the Old Ones.
Ah.
Here we go.
Which I might have double dipped. I first found out about this through Alpha Beta Gamer. What you basically have is an RPG where, yeah, the old ones won. This is after the stars were made right.
Ah.
So next, Total War 3 Kingdoms is getting its first expansion next week. In fact, not next week. It's going to get in a few days. And
Right.
one of the things that they've decided to add in as a free update is the Dynasty mode.
Uh-oh. Is this made by Koei Tecmo?
No, this is Creative Assembly.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I hope they talked with them about this.
Well, they're dealing with historical figures, so they can't do shit. And getting them on the whole Dynasty thing is like Duck Commander getting on Ty for Fear the Beard.
Yeah.
So the idea is that it's a wave-based mode where you only control 3 really powerful hero units. So it's not but it still plays like Total War 3 Kingdoms. It's just that the only units you have control over are 3 heroes. It'll come on the same day as the 8 Princes DLC. And the thing about DLC when it comes to strategy games is that it can be one of the rare cases where DLC feels like an actual expansion and not an extension. And hey there, Kim Lab, welcome to the party. So, speaking of Lovecraftian things, we've got a bit of an update on Abandoned Ship.
Ah.
Specifically, it's a nautical roguelike, and because of this new update, you can play as a Cthulhu-esque cult who gets to control a kraken.
Oh, release the Kraken!
Yes.
You've got my
Release the
attention.
Kraken, yes.
It's currently available via Steam Early Access for $20. Currently, it's normally $25. It's just on sale at the time of this writing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. If this thing will load. Oh, there we go. So, Fantasy Flight Games is doing another living card game, this time based on Marvel.
Ah.
Oh boy. I don't know about you, but the Marvel brand has soured for me big time in the last couple of years.
If I take any
don't even get me
if I take
started.
any solace from that, I'd like to think that now, first off, this is not the first time we've had a deck builder with Marvel characters. We had Legendary a few years ago, but with the kind of quality that FFG puts in their living card game format, I'm holding out some hope. But the key word here is some. And
Yeah.
the thing that I'm most hesitant on is whether or not say down the line when the Blade movie comes out, are they going to tell Fantasy Flight Games, okay, you've got to make an expansion about Blade?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, like I said, to deal with Disney is to fucking end up being their slaves.
If there's any
see-
if there's any consolation, Disney has been very hands off regarding the Star Wars TRPGs. Like the only book that I've seen regarding the sequel trilogy was one starter set that came out around the time of The Force Awakens. They've done some sequel trilogy stuff with the dice game Destiny, but that's another matter entirely. They have not done anything with the RPG, and the last few expansions for the RPG have been system neutral and more focused on specific points in time. I think the last one that I saw was rooted around the Clone Wars, and the one before that was rooted around Rebels.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not holding out a whole lot of hope for this one because knowing how the last run in the comics went with the whole Champions plot arc and then seeing who's featured on the cover, I'm going to be looking at this with a really skeptical eye.
Anyone feel like playing Overpower?
No.
That is a name. And speaking of card games, Simon is getting even more work because they're doing a Cyberpunk 2077 card game.
Oh,
nice.
And it's endorsed by CD Projekt Red.
Not only is it endorsed by CD Projekt Red, it's being designed by Eric Lang. That is a big damn deal.
So no wonder that CD Projekt endorsed them.
And now let's Eric Lang. Aside from the fact that he did one of the only digital card games I can stand playing with Duelist, he's responsible for the Bloodborne card game, Blood Rage, the XCOM board game, Dice Masters, the Star Wars card game, the Star Wars LCG back in 2012, Warhammer Invasion, which I absolutely loved, and pretty much the majority of the living card game format from Fantasy Flight.
Yeah.
He's also won the Diana Jones Award.
Oh, nice.
So this is quite a get.
Yeah.
Now, the way it's being packaged, I don't think this is going to be a collectible card game. I think this is going to be a standalone. Simon doesn't really do that kind of thing, and Eric Lang never did that kind of thing aside from Duelist. And
Yeah.
like this is definitely going to be a card game, but it's probably going to be self-contained with maybe some expansions coming out in a year.
Yeah.
But speaking of what is old is new again, so one retro shooter I've had my eye on for a bit, Project Warlock, is getting a new demo alongside cheat codes.
Oh.
The idea is bullets and a bit of spell casting, so every Shadowrun run I've ever done.
Oh, look! It looks like Doom. Looks like FPSs before Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Or at least that's yeah. It's like take the FPS concept and replace them all with fucking VGA graphics.
Yeah.
And Leos bought Warlock, so and he said it's fun fast. I will I'll take your word on that. I might take a look at the demo.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, we're talking old school style cheat codes. As in type some shit in. But speaking of cheat, this
IDDQD.
This next bid is a case of, okay, Riot, what are you doing? They've announced that they're going to be making a fighting game.
What?
Interesting.
The hell are you doing? Yeah. The hell are you doing?
Where's my liquor?
Saying, quote, fighting games deserve to be enjoyed by way more people. As big as things are, we think they have the potential to get bigger.
I think NetherRealm beat you to that shit.
He's referring to his Rising Thunder project. Except there's one problem. Rising Thunder was canceled.
What is this guy thinking?
I know, right?
Apparently, this might be due to the fact that Rising Thunder was made by Radiant, which 3 years ago was acquired by Riot.
Oh, I think that explains it. Apparently, whoever's doing this trying to get a lovey-dovey with fucking Evo.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Considering one of the employees that's working with Riot is one of the Cannon brothers. More specifically, Tom, who is one of the founders of Evo.
Oh God, here we go. This is core values of the fighting game, as if Mortal Kombat 11 didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Evo is ruining fighting games. I'm gonna say this right now.
Now here's where I have to raise my eyebrow on this. So Riot has had a trying time when it comes to keeping their MOBA balanced, with the fact that they do changes not just to balance things, but just changes for its own sake. Actman has a very good video on the matter called "What Happened to League of Legends." Right. And with that sort of propensity for random ass changes, and now you want to try and do a fighting game where you're going to be given a lot less leeway on those random ass changes, and if you end up messing with somebody's main, you're going to get them even more pissed than you already do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riot, don't quit your day job.
Mm-hmm.
So It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And I fucked up because the next one is someone we
that's a
already
double
covered.
post.
So next we have what Kenichiro Takaki is working on next alongside Marvelous, since a future Senran Kagura has been put on hold. What he's calling Kandagawa Jett Girls. Which is going to be both a PS4 title and a TV anime. The anime version starts broadcasting in October. It's being produced by TNK, and he is going to be overseeing both.
I wonder if this is going to be is this a fan service version of Jet Moto?
Probably.
More than likely, considering...
Not going to hear me complain. Actually, given the tech that we're dealing with, it may be more accurate to say that this is a fan servicey wave race.
Yeah, and the fan service is more apparent considering TNK has mainly worked on High School DxD and Ikitosen.
But unlike certain folk, you will not hear me complain about that.
Nope.
Exactly.
Yep. We are not fucking. We are not like those idiots that says to cover up the titties.
Yeah.
Oh, and
hey, Zoltrax.
Hey, it's the birthday boy.
Thank you. Thank you for the birthday message. Fuck you, soldier.
Where? Zeltrex, where are you?
I know we're in the monastery. Shades of Maddie might bring it up later.
Oh, I know.
I just wanted to get it out of my system.
There's a punching bag in the corner. Come back when you're done.
Exactly.
So,
thank you. I'm gonna need that. You might have to replace it later.
No,
we're talking. Come on, we're talking about fan service Jet Moto here.
Yeah.
Where's that docket, by the way?
Scroll up.
What's up, bitches?
Hey!
Speak of the devil.
Speaking of the devils.
We just finished talking about Jett Girls.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Which
before we continue, John, let them know what happened.
Tell us about
the devils.
Yeah. So, we had to introduce something new to our show, Tokurus Live tonight, because we've heard about the recent changes to the show, Ryu Soldier, and apparently they may potentially be just as bad, if not worse, than what we're already dealing with. So we had to call it. We had our first case of what I'm calling the Toku Tank Bowl.
Oh yes!
Yeah, we had to do that.
You know what? Fuck it.
Tank Bowl!
Tank Bowl!
Holy Tank Bowl, Batman!
I am feeling magnanimous, so I will not throw you guys in the ISO cube for 20 years. But moving on because I'm trying to lightning round this shit due to everything that happened in the last 2 hours.
Yeah, it's late.
Oh God!
But
thanks to bullshit,
we're getting a new Romance of the Three Kingdoms possibly next year.
Ooh, nice. That's been a while.
Really?
Huh. Color me tantalizing.
Yeah.
I don't have much on the matter. I just have an announcement teaser and a possible release date of early 2020, which is a little bit early. Apparently, the Japanese release is set for sometime this winter, but this one came right the fuck out of nowhere.
Oh
yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games, but the fact that we're getting one after so long, I'm calling me impressed.
Yeah, it's like Romance. The only thing we've got of Romance of the Three Kingdoms in recent years is fucking Dynasty Warriors.
Seriously,
yeah,
that doesn't count. That's a spinoff.
Yeah, but it just took over as like the main thing that they do now. So to see,
does no one remember Kessin?
Pepperidge Farm.
Oh, I remember Kessin.
I remember Kessin. I remember that it was supposed. I remember how weird it was when they decided to go China in its sequel.
I remember Tussin, the Tussin.
Anyway.
I get the feeling that the reason this ended up coming around is because of Total War. Especially since we just talked about how Total War is adding a dynasty mode later this week.
Oh, it's like, you want to mimic our shit? We'll mimic your shit.
Even though romance and Total War don't have a whole lot in common,
color me insane. You know what this makes me want to see a spinoff like? I want to see Romance of the Three Kingdoms. That's XCOM. I want to see tactical fucking old style combat.
Have you ever heard of the Long War mod?
I have not.
Oh yes.
I have some sites to show you.
I love it.
Look, you can find no matter if you have Enemy Unknown or XCOM 2, the Long War mod is for both of them, and you are in for some fun and pain in equal measure.
99%, you still miss.
Oh,
damn.
God. Oh god, we're going Fire Emblem on this shit?
Yep.
Oh god.
The Long War is infamous among XCOM circles.
I don't know if my heart's ready.
What did I say? What did I say earlier on your stream? No tears. It's a waste of good suffering.
It's suffering at the beginning, but it gets fun. Trust me.
So
of course, fuck. I'll talk about it later.
Yep. So we covered this during the E3 special, but we now have confirmation Genshin Impact will be coming to the States, at least on PS4.
Nice.
PS4. I don't know about that though, because you know how Sony's been.
It does look like it's going the action RPG route, but I'm not gonna give too much shit over that, especially since whoever's designing the visual style is clearly earning their money. But then we got this little news, and this particular bit is a case where I have to say, you had my curiosity, now you have my erection. We are getting a Record of Lotus War Metroidvania game.
Oh god, yes!
Holy hell!
Stop! My penis can only get so erect.
You watch. Someone's gonna put out a fucking new Deedlit mod. Give it a few months after release.
So
Monk, I have to ask, since we're talking about Record of Lotus War, you should show them what you made. Because one of the characters in that was from that show. All right, for context for those who are wondering, the image that I believe the Monk is about to show is from MetroCon 2013 at their Anime Human chess match.
Okay.
I was in that one.
Yes, you were, and you're in this image.
Oh yes, I distinct. Hang on. Let me get that image. I got to do a bit of jumping.
Yeah. Now, so while you're doing that, I'll explain because me and Ace know this better than anybody.
Right.
But basically, the whole premise behind the chess match is that there's this nexus of worlds, basically a gathering point of the multiverse, where heroes and villains from all over the multiverse come together and inevitably have a chess match battle. And what you're seeing on your screen right now is an image from 2013. And yes, you are seeing Ashram from Record of Lotus War, the Dark Lord of Marmo himself, getting ganged up on by pretty much numerous amounts of heroes. Half of them you probably don't even know who the fuck they are.
Right.
Oh boy. It's like John Wick.
Yeah. Points to anybody who can name the guy on the far left.
Points to anybody if you can guess who I am.
Rorschach.
No. That is not Rorschach.
I said it looks like Rorschach.
It looks like Rorschach, but that is not. I don't even. Sad part is I have to actually pull up the video to remind myself who he is. He's from the anime not Genshiken. Busorenkin. Busorenkin, that's the one.
Oh!
Hey, at least we have a reference of
Captain Bravo.
to. Yep.
Captain Bravo.
Yeah,
I love me some Captain Bravo.
Captain Bravo from Busorenkin.
Hey, you could
Love that
have. He
anime.
could have gone with worse. He could have gone with worse picks from Busorenkin. He could have gone with Papillon.
You leave him alone. He's a national treasure.
Oh, he's a national treasure, but there's no way. There's no way nobody's go. There's no way that nobody is go. There's no way anyone is going on that stage wearing that.
You don't know the people in our show anymore, dude.
You know, I'm smart enough. I'm smart enough to end it there. But yeah, I came across this image while scrolling, and I had to do a bit of magic, so I added when the tank tries to lead the party.
Yeah. By the way, for those wondering who Ace is in this shot, here's a hint. No, I'm just gonna give him a hint. It's not easy being green.
Oh.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Since you just basically said that, yeah, it took me a good couple hours under makeup to get that done. Thank you.
At the very least, you managed to handle makeup better than Roddy Piper did.
Oh yeah, that is very true. But Mildra, question for you: since we're on the subject of possible release games like Lotus Metrovania, have you heard what came out of Evo as a teaser trailer just about an hour ago?
No, because I haven't been watching Evo.
I don't give a crap about Evo.
Wait a minute. Is this about what's happening with Soul Calibur 6? Because that was brought to my attention.
That is cool. Yeah, Hal Maru and Soul Calibur 6. Holy shit! No, one of my personal favorite fighting games of all time, Guilty Gear's getting a new installment, 2020, baby.
Yeah, I heard.
Nice.
There.
Oh my god!
Well, you know what this also means. Daisuke Shiotari gets more music work.
Oh yes, like that, and the visuals look even better. Like they have perfected that style to a T.
I will definitely take a look. Getting back on the matter, Doku asked Puritus or Deedlit, and I'm like, dude, that's not even a question.
It's Puritus.
Both of them.
You of all people should know me better. It's fucking Puritus. No question here.
Damn right.
But this particular record of Lotus War game is being developed by the team that did Touhou Luna Nights, which was actually pretty good. And I know you might be raising an eyebrow at the Touhou part. They toned down the bullet hell.
Well, yeah, this is in Touhou, so you have to do that. And yeah, the Touhou Luna Nights wasn't as big a bullet hell, though I did have some aspects of it.
I will be one of those guys that says beyond bullet hell aspects, Touhou games are usually pretty good quality.
Yeah. In fact, there's a couple Touhou tabletops that I have in the queue. That and somebody managed to make a Danmaku duelist class for Dungeons the Dragoning because, as I mentioned, TG gets shit done, and looking at the demo footage that they're giving, yeah, I'd say this is a case to take my money.
Yeah. Also, Brother Paul, wrong Touhou!
Yeah, wrong Touhou, you son of a bitch.
I mean, I'd still play it.
Yeah, but this is scheduled for early access this fall and a full release in the spring.
Sweet.
So
Nice.
I'm gonna keep my eye out on this.
Mhm.
And speaking of Castlevania related things, we have this little thing from a team that had done some pretty good Castlevania fan games called Lakia, Reign of Dracula. And apparently they've gotten a plug from the Bloodstained devs.
Oh,
Nice.
Sweet.
That's gonna boost their output.
Elkin Floria escaped the wrath of Dracula was rescued by a German alchemist who takes her in as an apprentice. Years after that rescue and learning the magic arts, Elsin ventures into the Ottoman court in the 1600s with the aim of assassinating Dracula.
Nice.
Sounds like a pretty decent premise. Basic stuff for a Castlevania style game.
Although this seems to be more old. This seems to be more old school Castlevania, but
yeah,
I'd argue the running animation is a little bit odd, but the way this thing comes off, it's Castlevania in visual style, but in actual gameplay style, it seems to have more in common with Metal Slug.
Well, it couldn't be any worse than the arcade game they came out back in the 80s.
We don't talk about Haunted Castle. And the crossovers that they managed to get, they managed to get our favorite Shardbinder's outfit as a bonus costume.
Nice.
That is impressive for a small time dev like this. Yeah, they've got Miriam's outfit.
So
there is a demo on PC. This thing is coming to Steam and Switch. It looks a little bit rough, but I'd say it's a very interesting start.
So what you're telling me now is we just have to wait for Shovel Knight, Shantae, Gunvolt, Toro, and then we'll just have that set.
And
tell me I'm wrong.
Nope, can't.
You ain't wrong.
Y.exe not found.
And speaking of successors, we're getting a successor to Momodora later on this month.
Ooh!
In fact, it's created by the same team as Momodora.
Nice.
Sweet.
And looking at the combat is definitely a lot faster and a lot more up my alley.
Nice.
Considering how smooth the combat was for the last game, Momodora Riviera Under the Moonlight, that's saying a lot. Yeah. Oh wow, that looks nice.
Yep.
And I can't say no to playing as a battle nun because, well,
it's a battle nun. Come on.
Yeah, you can't say no to that.
Why do you think everybody loves the Sisters of Battle so much?
You know what? I'm gonna take a cue from Derek Alexander. You can't top that.
Also, and here's a bit of a name in Canacoke if you remember this one. For the longest time, I wanted to play a game as Rosette Christopher.
Ooh! You got good taste, my friend.
And give props to Chrono's voice actor in that one because one, all the voice actors had to learn a bunch of 1920s slang, which is one of the rare cases where the dub makes it more interesting, and two.
Yeah.
Chrono's VA had to do 2 different tones, and he was in the middle of quitting smoking at the time.
Oh, yeah. Greg right. My God, that man. Ooh.
I'm not the biggest fan of Greg Ayres. There's been a few roles of his that I really don't care for his high-pitched voice, but when he gets the right voice, he can be amazing.
He outright said he came close to losing his voice because in some cases he had to switch between 2 different vocal styles in the same take.
Oh.
Wow.
And again, at the time he was on the patch. So
yeah.
That couldn't help.
Anyway,
and now it's time for we get to the real shit.
Oh yes.
Here we go, baby.
There we fucking go.
I'll prep the button.
Fire away.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, well, we got 2 buttons. First,
ladies and gentlemen, the bar is open. It's time for Mildred the Monk's Geek of the Week.
And of course,
we have a fuck ton of that.
Yeah, and with that, of course, it means it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our drinking anthem.
Again.
Time.
Skull!
Skull!
Where's my liquor?
I need some liquor after tonight.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear shit from you.
If I have to hear about any Toku whining Zeltrax, then we give you the celebratory birthday beating.
You will be Dave.
I'm not gonna mention it again. I'm just saying I need a drink.
Although,
to be fair, he does need a birthday drink.
Yeah.
just careful. I am very within my power to bring back the tradition of birthday licks.
Yeah.
How many years?
I'm 29 today.
You'd get whacked 29 times.
Oh boy.
And I'm just gonna make the joke now. I wonder how many licks it'll take.
The world may never know. But before we get into this, I have a little bit of an update on a previous issue that Homer brought to my attention. So, you know how a few months ago we talked about a certain writer at Polygon trying to equate Attack on Titan with fascism?
Yeah. Oh God, don't remind me.
Yeah, that writer, their favorite color is pink now.
Hold on. I don't think I saved this, but I'm going to put this back up because, quite frankly, this button needs to be pressed. For those who are wondering what he means by that, simply put,
You're
Oh, yeah.
So, Mildred, are you telling me that we have a new instance? We have a new instance simply proving the award-winning investment strategy of if it gets woke, short it, because it's going broke.
Yeah, apparently it partially has to do with that. It partially has to do with how he reacted to the matter, and partially due to the fact that he joined a writers guild.
Oh boy, that's a no-no.
Which I find completely amusing because you would think that a company that claims to be all progressive like Polygon would be all for their staff being unionized.
Yeah.
You'd think, but apparently they're pulling a Bernie Sanders. You know, they don't like things cutting into the bottom line.
Yeah, really.
It's all fun and games until you start taking money out of the pocket.
See, I'm all in favor of eventually, hopefully, getting more things unionized because that tends to work out better for employees in the end. But I'm also well aware that right now we are in no position to pull that shit off.
And furthermore, you're in no position to Polygon is in no position to pull that off, considering how they keep losing their parent company money.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if they were to go to them and say we demand a higher wage for our current work, they'd say, no, you're all getting fired, and they know it. So him getting cut is a case of cutting their losses in case it causes trouble down the line. And speaking of karma, so for National Best Friends Day, which anybody who did not bring up Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor for National Best Friends Day, turn in your meme cards right now. But for this, the Star Wars Twitter account decided to list off a bunch of pairings for who is the favorite and I'm sorry, it was the International Day of Friendship, and who gets to vote on the favorite best friends from the movies.
Yep.
Let me read you the results from bottom to top. At 4%, Rey and Finn.
Ouch.
At 5%, BB-8 and Poe. At 28%, R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Okay, that's expected.
That's respectable.
And at 64%, in a fucking landslide, Chewie and Han.
Hell yeah.
Notice the pattern now, ladies and gentlemen.
Although,
notice the pattern there. The two sequels character teams failed horribly, while the two original trilogy teams completely dumped.
Yeah, they won by a complete landslide.
And
Exactly.
Although, let's be honest, all of those are wrong. The correct answer is Luke and Leia.
No, you're looking for the best. No, you're looking for the best couple. Oh wait, never mind.
Oh God! Star Wars, Game of Thrones edition.
Oh, don't even shit about that.
Oh, by the way, before I end up forgetting again, I need to highlight a couple things. The first being a little gag that I pulled a few days ago on my Twitter. So, I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with the Wrong Answers Only game.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah, let me try and get this thing to load. God, I hate the new format. So I posted an image of the player's handbook for D&D with the simple question of, what game is this? Wrong answers only.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I want to see.
And let's see.
Oh shit, how did I miss this?
Let's see. We got, well, the first one we got is from you, Aaron, who said Orun, which I had to immediately retweet and say, seriously, what the fuck is an aura?
Fuck is an aura?
Green Knight with one among the top 3 worst examples of taxidermy in the whole world. Raja with Attack on Titans. Stormforger with Tunnels and Trolls. That's a name. Zale Cree with Dinosaurs and Donuts. Undead Ramen with Operation. Victoria Gal with Bloodborne. Pop Psyops with Bigfoot Hunter. Sentai Master with Dragon Ball Z.
Oh boy.
Good one.
Professor Yana with Planet Mercenary.
By the way, with Sentai Masters, to be fair, with some games they can drag off.
Yeah.
Vision Storm with Dumb and Dumber. Frank with Kama Sutra the board game.
Accurate.
More Death with Dungeons and Drag Queens. Ratman with Paranoia. Cutting.
Oh, that had to be a fuck you.
Yeah.
The Great Canadian Neckbeard with Rifts. That is cutting.
Yes.
Pagside with Pathfinder. Oblivion with My Little Pony Tales of Equestria.
That's gonna hurt for you.
Hey, Monk, I got an answer for you. Grand Theft Auto Online, the casino thing.
That would go up because it's been banned in 50 countries.
I do love that no scope down at the bottom had said Stranger Things. I tried to pick the wrongest answer I could. But the true
No, you're all wrong. It's clearly Monster Girl Quest. Come on.
Fuck it. It's Depression Quest.
I'm sorry. I've been silent for too long. That's actually Smash Brothers.
The true winner, however, goes to Bradford Walker, who retweeted and said Dungeons and Dragons. And I said, well, wait, that's what he already... Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But there is one other
Congratulations, you won the internet.
There is one other thing that I need to get out of my system, because I was bitching about this the other week because last week. Now, first off, somebody was kind or cruel enough to send me a bunch of Pathfinder PDFs.
Oh boy.
Oh
So,
God!
I
know
think
where
this is Chinese
going.
water torture.
But
Mhm.
I want to show you guys something. This is the character sheet pack for Pathfinder
Oh,
2nd
wait a
Edition.
minute.
You're going to see this on the stream.
Oh wait a minute. I know what you're talking. I think I know what you're talking
I've
about.
seen this
he
already.
actually showed us this. He showed us this last week during our Toonami call.
Oh yeah.
And this aesthetical nightmare of a character
Ugh.
sheet is absolutely atrocious.
I only showed you one page. What you're about to see is the full thing.
Oh.
As soon
Oh
as the thing
my.
loads.
Strap in, fuckies, we're going in dry.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, the cover is fine, but look at this. Look at this.
I don't think I've ever heard the monk this pissed off before. That should tell you something.
You
Yeah,
had
Bad. Very bad.
Oh,
bad
God.
typography always
What?
triggers
Yeah.
me.
What? Who designed this garbage?
I mean, look
Who
at the
likes
ability
it
score.
round?
Look at the ability scores part. Look at all of that wasted space.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And you got these giant blocks all in different sizes, shapes, and locations. It's like, how is anyone supposed to find anything on that sheet? It's ridiculous.
Now, I get what they were doing with the
Yeah.
melee and range strikes. It's supposed to look like an axe and an arrow, but there's more elegant ways to do this.
Mhm.
This is just wasteful, man.
Yeah,
Who
and
the-
then
how much time-
crunching all the feats like this, even though several feats are going to give you extra extra advantages or actions, as Shades and Maddie can attest.
I got a question for Paizo. How much did you pay your graphic designer? Because whatever you're paying him, it's way too much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the way that they did spell slots, this whole magic tradition thing, did you really need to have that kind of graphic? Especially since
Oh my God.
none of the classes are going to be using more than one tradition.
This is why I tend to get very salty when it comes to people not hiring me to do graphic design work, because these fucking idiots who don't know what the fuck they're doing with a fucking layout tends to get work. Me, it's like it's like what was that, a whiff of air?
Now I'll give them props for having individual sheets for each of the classes like this. That's cute and all, but what if you end up house ruling that class? Then you're kind of fucked.
This is too much. This is way too much. It's too complex. You easily get fucking lost.
And you want to know what the best part is?
They doubled up on the fucking ability scores. Look at that.
Jesus.
Like when it comes to the ability score part, there's no reason to have that much space, especially since you're still using the same 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save some space, man.
Exactly.
Let me see if I can.
Let me see
When
if
it comes
I can.
to character sheets, go ahead.
I'm trying to see if I can get if this is the right one, because I have a few handmaids and
they have one for each fucking class.
The idea is that this is a character folio. Now, I'm sorry that this thing is sideways, but look at let me rotate it. There we go. This is the character sheet for the fucking playtest version. How is it that the playtest version looks better?
What the fuck is this?
No, this one looks better.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
What even the fuck am I looking at?
This is Why did you go with this? Here's the thing about character sheets. And Paizo, please take notes, because this is very important. Try to get it down as fewest pages as you can. Shit. What you should be doing is aiming for one fucking page.
Aiming for one page is impossible. I'm going to quash that right now.
Yeah, I agree with that, but there's still the rule of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
Because nobody's going to care about your fancy, about your cute little cute little graphical tricks. And I guarantee you, whatever character sheet you end up making, fans are going to make a better one. Mark my fucking words.
Yeah, let me tell you something. So when it comes to character sheets, boring yet practical is the rule.
Yeah.
I mean, no one cares about all this fucking flashy ass shit. It's stupid and unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
God, remember when people were complaining about Vampire the Masquerade character sheets?
Oh.
The hero system would like to have a word with those people. Just saying. Slick Rick responded with one to the wrong answers thing, saying the Neo Saban era in a nutshell.
I fucking felt that.
Cure, if you want to see a character sheet that looks like a tax form, I can present some of the old Fantasy Games Unlimited character sheets, or some of the old Rollmaster character sheets, which I guarantee if I broke out Rollmaster for the TRPG campaigns, Lady K would probably kill me. She hates Rollmaster as much as I do. But speaking of hate, and now I have to go to a point of what the fuck is going on with the UK.
Fucking Bongland.
So a pupil at a school in the UK is one half of a father-son duo who has a YouTube channel called Imperator Vespasian, where they play a counter-historical game called A Very British Civil War, set in an alternate 1938 where Oswald Mosley, the leader of the British Union of Fascists, became prime minister after Edward VIII refused to abdicate, causing a civil war. You've got a bunch of different factions, including the BUF, communists under the banner of the Labour Party, cutting, loyalists to the crown backed by the US and Canada, and so on. The son had offhandedly mentioned to his classmates that he was buying a flag for the BUF models, and he was quickly denounced as a fascist himself for daring to engage in that faction, and was reported to the school by the anti-terror wing of the police.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Drink.
What the hell is this shit? This is like Brave New World. So fuck that. This is V for Vendetta bullshit here.
Yeah.
Now,
I guess I'm no longer allowed to play Warhammer.
They were apparently being reported under the prevent scheme, i.e., something to spot potential terrorists. Except, anybody ever seen Minority Report? That whole trying to prevent shit that before it happens doesn't always work.
Mm-hmm.
To the police's credit, they ended up ripping the school a new one for wasting their damn time. But apparently
the police didn't buy it. They didn't bite.
No,
I'm shocked.
No,
but apparently it nearly killed the interest in the hobby for the father and son duo and caused the mother to become sick from all of the stress.
Oh
God!
I'd be suing the school at that point.
You know,
they are.
I have to apologize to the religious right. I can't believe it, but I'm gonna apologize to them. You weren't. It's good that you didn't go this fucking far during the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, if there's a silver lining to this, apparently they're back at playing games again, including the very campaign that got them in trouble in the first place, as it, in their words, annoys all the right people.
Good.
Oh god.
They should fucking sue the school for that shit.
And apparently the father had said, quote, "Some of the teachers these days are so far to the left that they've lost the ability to understand. Some of the teachers do not live on Earth. They think that toy soldiers are real life."
You know what? Considering how things are going on in the freaking UK, when are we going to demand regime change?
Oh yeah, considering who they just put in a fucking office, fucking
I'm
now.
just gonna say it. The day Boris Johnson dies.
Hey, man, of that
Yeah.
fucking A.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, don't get me. Lethal fine. He's not gonna fuck around like fucking Theresa May. At least that's I hope. But then again, Nigel Farage is already sounding that fucking alarm right now, and I can't really blame him.
Yeah, and then again, his bunk buddy Boris Johnson just took over as prime minister. Oh, good God! I feel sorry for anyone living in the UK right now. They now have to deal with a very similar problem that we're dealing with here in this.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as I'm going with that.
Moving that's on. As far as I'm going. I'm just saying, like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
same here.
Now we have to get. Apparently now we have to give the national soccer teams a lesson in economics.
Oh.
After
I'm glad I'm here for this.
After the victory of the U.S. women's national team, they started going on the whole equal pay thing. Here's the problem, though. The president of the U.S. Soccer Federation released a fact sheet that is outright stating that the women's team was paid more than the men's team once you actually do the math, but the women's team actually lost money.
Yep. It goes back to the whole situation. You don't draw, you don't get paid.
The thing with how it works with FIFA is that payment is doled out based on the overall revenue, not revenue based on specific markets. Because if you're going to go with that, then Europe would be getting 3 times more money than everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the fact of the matter is, you've got one end of the spectrum that is absolutely gargantuan, and you've got one that is certainly large but nowhere near at the same level, which means it's not going to make as much money. It's a simple. It's there's also the and let's the base salary for the women's team is $100,000 each year per player, and an additional salary of $67.5 to $72.5 thousand for playing in the National Women's Soccer League.
Yeah, I forgot who did this, but somebody actually, I think it was It's a Gundam did a video on this, but it's a really simple thing to debunk. You have your total revenue generation, you have the hours of time you put in, hours worked. Break those two things down, the women actually get paid more than the men, based on revenue generated, hours worked, and how much they're compensated for.
Yep.
The bottom. I'm not gonna focus too much on this, but the bottom line is, if you're going to be making an argument about who's getting paid more, hire an economist to make sure you actually get your numbers straight.
Mm-hmm. I'm a trader and I know this. Like, come on, dude, this is basic Econ 101 shit. Like, anybody that looks at a fucking balance sheet should be able to realize total revenue generated and hours worked are the two most important things if you want to make this type of argument, and you botched both of them. Congratulations, you played yourself. Drink.
Oh, definitely. Hold on. Yeah, I'm playing Khaled.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And now it's time for us to laugh at Vice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
So apparently,
what did they do this time?
So apparently, Vice is planning on taking over Refinery 29, another media group, which might result in even more layoffs.
Oh boy.
Why?
Apparently can make enough money to keep themselves afloat, yet they want to buy other groups. Yeah, that just makes so much fucking sense.
Oh wait, no,
I know,
it doesn't.
Right?
Nope.
Yeah.
This is Vice we're talking about. you know, I wouldn't say layoffs. I would say fucking full on brawls, and whoever wins gets to keep their job.
How the fuck is Vice still in business?
Because you've got a few companies pumping in to try and keep it in business.
Yeah,
and
and they get a lot of donations.
Apparently some of their employers are whining that some of the people who might be coming in from Refinery 29 are white men. Because of course.
Wow.
And now
this is gonna backfire wonderfully.
And now for something that was so goddamn laughable, I damn near fell out of my chair when I found out about this.
Oh yeah, E3 doxing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this shit. Oh.
Oh boy.
This bad.
Preemptive drink.
Shut down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a drink.
Drink.
So thanks to Sophia Narwitz for breaking the story initially.
ESA.
There was an Excel sheet that was accessible on the ESA's website that contained the personal info of 2,000 journalists and influencers alike, from mainstream to just web journalists to even independents.
Wow.
And we're talking full name, address, and phone number. And Ace, I'm getting you to do the catchphrase, because I got more.
Shit. Mildred Ace dropped.
Ah, shit.
I shall provide. But wait, it gets better.
Uh-oh.
You see, some of those people were from the UK, and others were from Greater Europe.
Uh-oh.
Which meaning dropping that kind of info could result in GDPR violations.
Drink.
And last I checked, those can carry a fine in the tens of millions at its most charitable.
Drink again.
Each?
Oh,
Yep.
It just
20 million. Fine of $20 million. 20 million pounds.
20 million pounds.
Like
Is this all together or each?
Each.
It's each.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
ESA is in serious trouble. Like I said earlier, how does one fuck up this bad without getting shut down? Because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what's about to happen here.
And the
Well,
response
I hope you got a fresh one cracked, because that counts as another drink.
Oh yeah, and by the way, guess who went to fucking E3? Thoughty Unicorn. This is not going to be
Oh
good news for
yeah.
her.
Oh boy.
Hell, I'm actually surprised that Young Yeah hasn't done a video on this, considering he was part of this.
Oh, give it a day. He'll probably have one up on Monday. But
Yeah, he's maybe right now he's working on trying to scrub it.
Maybe.
It's too late now. His info's out there. Somebody's got that Excel sheet, and once it's on the internet, it stays there forever.
Yeah, and even at this juncture, I was still able to find a link to the thing.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
drink.
Yeah. On top of those violations, you guarantee there's probably gonna be some lawsuits out of this, because that is privacy right
I would say that's definitely. I'd say that I'd probably have to ask around, but I wouldn't be surprised if this qualifies as reckless endangerment.
ESA's fucked.
Yeah, between the violations of the lawsuits, the inevitable lawsuits. Oh, good God. The ESA is not survive. They survived this. It is by the skin of their fucking teeth.
Oh,
man,
definitely.
I hope It's a Gundam and Mr. Medicare have some ample free time coming up because they've got their work cut out for them.
Crimson just brought up something else. But wait! It gets...
Oh, yeah! I was about to get to that. In their attempt to pull damage control, they claimed it was an exploit in their system. Bullshit. It was not an exploit. It was right on your fucking page. People were able to find it with 2 clicks. That is not an exploit.
Yeah, that is just stupidity. Pen.
I'll take bull for 200.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
And I'm going all in because then guess who decided to try and play damage control even further and attack a trans journalist? Schreier the fucking crier.
Schreier?
Yep.
Schreier?
Yep, Schreier the crier.
Really? Schreier? Oh, yeah, it definitely gets better. Oh.
All right, well, that was already 2 drinks, but for this one, there's an exception. Can we please make this a rise?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm all for it. Hit the button.
Rise.
Goal!
Goal!
Where's my liquor?
Yeah, where the fuck's my liquor?
Holy shit. And actually, once this is done, I think something else needs to be done. And Monk, I think you know where I'm going with this.
Oh, I do. I definitely
That's a third rise of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Let me.
Third and a worthy rise at that.
I have the button prepped.
So.
Because, think about this. We have Crier trying to do damage control for the ESA's massive fuck up. You know what this means, boys?
Yep.
Take ball!
Hey, you gotta put the thing up.
It's up.
It is?
Oh god.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I was very tempted to see how much detail I would have had to give Reverend when it comes to explaining what that is, but the thing is that he tried to lead the charge by trying to claim that first off trying to claim that Narwitz had been going digging for this and was looking for a cheap bit of clickbait, i.e. projecting.
Drink.
Yeah.
Then the argument was that Sophia herself had leaked the thing, and she put out a video recently where she gave her entire timetable and the fact that she warned the ESA about this problem a month ago.
Dos and tres.
And it was.
You mean they had a month to fix this?
Yep.
Actually, no. We're calling that 4. We're calling that 4.
Yeah.
That's 4 right there.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah,
you might need that rise button again.
It might be even worse because apparently Frank over at Niche Gamer had said that they had contacted the ESA on this shortly after E3.
5.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So they've had that long to at least to try to fix this problem, and they completely ignored it. My fucking God, you are...
Actually, I take it back. Because there's one tweet from Sophia where she says the ESA has known of this issue since February.
Jesus!
Oh!
Damn it.
You know what, ESA, there's one thing you really need to do right now.
Stay off the damn weed.
That has to be another skull just for that one little.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
That has to be another skull just for that alone.
Let's be honest, Jason. I know exactly why you decided to try and bury. You have been going on this thing that only people like you should be the ones breaking stories. Not independent journalists. I saw your fucking interview that you did with Young Ye. I have to give all the credit in the world for Young Ye to not slap the shit out of you for the stuff that you were saying. You were trying to argue that
what Cryer's problem is. He's pissed because he didn't get to break it. You know what? Boo fucking who? Play my violin.
He's a fucking numpty.
Play my goddamn violin. And it's microscopic too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You might need a microscopic one for what's coming next, because once again, it's that time where we laugh at GameStop. Again.
Well, real quick, just so you guys know.
This on Facebook.
Just so you guys know, that was 6 drinks just in that last little stint right there. And we need somebody to get a rarely used for special occasion sound clip of Tyrion slapping Joffrey from Game of Thrones back in season 1 for shit like this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if we can get it, I will add it to the board, and I will call it the sound of one hand clapping.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen into the archive links because for some reason they are just not opening for me. I don't know why.
Weird.
Now,
so
they laid off a dozen of regional managers.
Yeah.
No fucking simpy.
Now my heart does go out to the people who are now going to be looking for a job, but the problem is all this financial trouble that GameStop has been in. They brought this on themselves with their aggressive push towards used sales for several years.
No. Here's the thing. Again, let me remind, because I heard many a horror story of GameStop regional managers being complete and utter douches.
Oh, I can, as somebody who worked for a GameStop for about 7 months, I can completely attest.
So that's why I say when it comes to these regional managers getting laid off, that's why I say no simpy. Because you had this coming for years.
I had a few friends. I mean, this goes back, over a decade. I've had several friends who used to work for GameStop, and every single one of them very fervently always encouraged me, never, ever, ever work for GameStop. It sucks.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything good about that company.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So yeah, I agree with Aaron. No simpy. Also drink.
One of these days I should go on a subreddit and just collect all the GameStop horror stories I can find. But so we have.
Shit, you could make a special show out of that.
So here's how the spread goes. We have 50+ district leaders, 6 regional leaders, multiple HR, and multiple loss prevention. Getting
district managers and regional managers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nope, no simpy for me. In fact, you know what?
Apparently, this is all part of their attempt to restructure into being a community place for things like esports, which that's a bold strategy, Cotton. It ain't gonna pull off.
You know what? They're trying to say that's what the reason is. Yeah, press X.
Yeah,
definitely. And also community. I think Inigo Montoya would like to have a word about that.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Now, as far as EB Games, I get the feeling that's going to have a trickle down effect with this because that's owned by GameStop. I haven't heard any specific news about EB Games, but it's a case of shit rolls downhill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of shit. And I am so glad I got you on this week, Doku, because this particular one I know is going to piss you off.
Oh, God. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, damn. Benioff and Weiss.
I had put this one in the docket as D&D are fucking idiots.
Oh, this story.
Oh, Benioff and Weiss is being stupid again.
So you remember that scene? You remember that scene in the final episode where Drogon breathed fire on the Iron Throne and basically melted it?
Yeah.
It was a very nice scene. as far as its symbolism of destroying the thing that caused so much strife.
It was a nice breaking the wheel nod, yeah, but it still doesn't make narrative sense.
It.
Oh, it gets.
Yeah.
Oh,
My friend?
it gets better.
But wait, it gets.
Because apparently in the script for the finale, they had no symbolic intent. They had no symbolic breaking the wheel intent for that. It's just that the throne happened to be there when he was breathing fire.
Yeah, the throne was basically a goddamn punching bag.
There it is. There it is.
Oh fuck!
What the fuck were you thinking, you two witless hacks?
Exactly.
So that constituted about
boy.
40 drinks.
Oh boy!
You
oh
know
boy,
what,
oh boy.
Shades?
Skull.
Benioff and White's need something right now.
Apparently,
You know what this is?
they were. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this part from the script.
You know, let's read that
We
first.
look over
Then
John's we look over John's shoulder as the fire sweeps toward the throne. Not the target of Drogon's wrath, just a dumb bystander caught up in the conflagration.
Okay.
Skull.
You know what? No, you know what? Shades. Benioff and Weiss. They deserve several Daves apiece.
You know,
I'll give them
I-
6 each, so 12 total.
Yes.
Yeah, for you idiots for taking the one redeeming aspect of this finale, a series that I'd never watched myself personally, but now I'm kind of glad I missed that boat. But for doing this and pissing off the remaining fans who actually had some semblance of satisfaction from this ending, Dave! There's one.
That's for Benioff. This is for Weiss.
And there's for the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? Since I already brought up Game of Thrones, not knowing, because I was lazy and didn't look at the docket, that this was going to come up, and also not knowing how incredibly fucking stupid and how irritated it's going to make me, Dan and Dave, fuck both of you, you little fucking bitches.
I do have to
get Dave backhanded.
I do have to love the first comment in here saying, "Ain't nothing better than subverting expectations."
I'm back. I thought that, Dave.
That's not a drink, but that is a cheers.
Yes, that is
fucking men.
Oh boy!
The best excuse of a lazy fucking writer. Oh, we wanted to subvert expectations. No, you were lazy and you wanted to get over to Star Wars, you fucking two-faced prick pieces of shit. Go fuck yourselves. No wonder you didn't show up
Where's
at
my
Comic-Con.
liquor?
Oh my god. I think we broke it Doku over here.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
If Doku didn't show up, I would have saved this. And hey there, Homer, welcome to the party.
Yeah, really.
And
Oh yeah, no, that shit pisses me the fuck off because Dan and Dave, I gotta get this off my chest because wow, I'm mad. Dan and Dave, you fucking hack-ass, cash-grabbing fucking little cunts. The only goddamn thing that was fucking a saving grace of that series was the whole Daenerys, I want to break the wheel and sit on the Iron Throne. The only fucking saving grace you had for that garbage last episode of a series that I wasted 7 years of my fucking life on was the breaking of the wheel. You melted the throne. Dany's dead. Drogonfly. And you had no intention of doing that? Like, are you kidding me? Are you really that... Like, I knew you were stupid, but are you really that fucking stupid?
Unfortunately,
What
they
the
are.
fuck?
They're stupid enough for Kathleen Kennedy to hire them.
Jesus Christ.
Oh god, I see what's coming next.
Yep.
No, the whole point... Real quick, the whole fucking point about Game of Thrones was about war is... Like, this is from George R. R. Martin, not me, not our stupid fan theories, but how war is bad and people in positions of power manipulate the little people and the Iron Throne is not something to be desired, but something to be feared. Both for the people that play the Game of Thrones, but also the people that get caught up in the bullshit of it. And you're telling me that you had no symbolic intention. It was just there and it just go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. I think the point's been made, my friend. You can calm down now.
Yeah, I got it off my chest. And oh, by the way, drink.
Drink.
Yep.
Yeah, drink.
Also, considering what we're going to be talking about next, I have a button that I think would be very appropriate for this because we're talking about Gawker next. And considering what they've been involved with, Natty, I think you're going to appreciate the button I have because
Brotherfucker the motherfuck out of it.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to the Brotherfucker.
You know what'd be funnier? You know what'd be funnier? After because this just reminds me that a few days ago I watched the Wrestling with Regrets SummerSlam 2005 review.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'd be making better is if Gawker oversold those fucking botches.
Well, in order to oversell, you actually need to make money.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a drink for savagery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
apparently, whenever we do a Gawker article, there's your button for it. There's your basically the Gawker theme song.
Yeah.
So apparently,
because Hogan fucked you over, Gawker.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, according to a spokesperson for Bustle Digital Group, they are postponing the relaunch of Gawker. That the company will be focusing its resources and efforts towards its most recent acquisitions that include The Outline, Who, Nylon, Who, and Inverse, fucking Who. Among those who were laid off from Gawker Media was the editor-in-chief Dan Perez, editorial director Carson Griffith, writer Nate Hopper, and sales exec Amanda Hale.
Won't give any of those fuckers a drink because they all can go burn in hell as far as I care. 4 drinks.
So, and and there was also apparently some of the new people that are being hired are getting the writers at Gawker are getting pissy because they're hiring white men.
Drink.
They're doing it too. First Vice now. This. What the fuck?
Yeah, and hope they like losing money. And yeah, apparently the whole senior staff got nuked, which leads me to ask the question. And I have to ask this both from a business and from a PR perspective. Why would you invest money in these kind of sites? It's going to be a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just burn it.
If you think
because the only people I can answer this very easily. The only people who are interested in investing money in these types of companies are doing so not for profit, but for the sake of pushing an ideology that somewhere elsewhere, not this investment, will create another opportunity for them to make money.
It seems that in a lot of these cases, it's that they think they can buy it and then try and rehabilitate it by bringing in their people.
Or better, you know what? Here's another theory that I have why people do this. 2 words: tax shelter.
Yeah.
I can perfectly go with that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Tax shelter.
And now it's time for me to laugh at Microsoft again.
Yeah.
When do we not laugh at Microsoft?
So apparently there have been complaints.
They got to win though.
There have been complaints about stability issues on the Xbox One version of Fortnite. And apparently those issues are due to the Kinect.
Oh god.
That thing is still not fucking dead.
Yeah.
Damn. No one. Yeah. That whole Kinect thing. What the fuck were you thinking, Microsoft?
Actually, no, Aaron. you're putting too much effort into thinking Microsoft was actually thinking when it comes to the Kinect.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot who pushed this kind of bullshit. Oh yeah, some guy. I forgot what his name is. Oh yeah, Don Matrick.
Mm-hmm.
That idiot.
And after he got ran out of town, he went to go to Zynga. But apparently, the problem is that the Kinect even is being a resource hog, which is causing slowdown.
Yep.
So the solution:
back in a second.
Unplug the Kinect. It's not like you're gonna use. It's not like you're gonna use it on Fortnite, anyways.
Exactly.
And following that, we have a bit of a update on legal drama llamas. Specifically, the fact that you remember a few weeks back where we talked about the lawsuit that Tfue was getting into with his former employer's FaZe Clan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, FaZe Clan decided to fire back. They have filed a countersuit for breach of contract, appropriating trade secrets, and appropriating confidential information.
Oh.
So, for those who don't recall, in the initial lawsuit, Tfue, real name Turner Tenney, had alleged that the contract he entered with FaZe Clan was oppressive, claiming that FaZe retained a grossly unconscionable commission for sourcing a sponsorship deal up to 80%, and attempted to prevent Tenney from procuring or 22 negotiating such employment opportunities without FaZe Clan. In their countersuit, FaZe Clan alleges that Tfue violated his contract, which is still legally binding through October 7th, 2021, by using FaZe Clan's trade secrets and confidential information, as described above, to create a competing organization or otherwise compete against FaZe Clan, which is certainly the case because, as we talked about when this first came up, he apparently wanted to start his own streaming group shortly after this thing came about. So there's certainly some credibility, and this caused damage to FaZe Clan, including the termination of certain brand sponsorship deals and forced negotiation on brand deals on less favorable terms. The team also stated that they schooled Tenney in the business, social media, and gaming practices that have made FaZe Clan successful, noting that he has earned $20 million since joining FaZe Clan in April 2018 thanks to their assistance. Yeah, that last part is a bit of a reach, but apparently they're seeking damage in the amount according to proof at trial, plus interest at the legal rate, as permanent injunctive release from Tenney disparaging the company, interfering with their business dealings, and using their trade secrets. For his Turner's attorney Brian Friedman dismissed FaZe Clan's complaint as ridiculous. I'm not sure if it's all that ridiculous, considering that when FaZe Clan's top guy was on Keemstar's show doing an interview, he said multiple times that he was perfectly willing to play ball to renegotiate, but Tfue kept being obstinate on the matter. So, all things considered, and the fact that FaZe Clan probably has receipts if they had to renegotiate deals with sponsors, because I'm pretty sure a lot of those sponsors started getting cold feet when this lawsuit started, because that's how investors are going to work. But if this ends up going to trial, I would not be surprised if a judge ruled in favor of FaZe Clan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Especially since I'm pretty sure they've got the receipts.
Yeah.
And granted, it is very much a classic case of the retard fight, but in this case, I can't help but side with FaZe throughout it, because at the very least they were willing to go on Keemstar's show to plead their case on the matter, whereas Tfue has been radio silence and only talking through his attorney.
Right.
Oh boy.
And
sounds like a little suit to me.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Speaking of talk, let's talk about ooblets and how to
This fucking bullshit. When I
horseshit.
saw this, good God.
Oh boy, this is, I've been talking about this shit and the whole Epic Game Store shit for quite a while here, and I have a theory about that. But before we do that, let's have a look at this.
Now, as you guys know, I have had a soft moratorium on games going Epic Store exclusive because it's just not interesting enough, and the whole Epic Store situation is a multifaceted thing that I don't feel like drudging into. But
exactly.
Ooblets, I am not getting on him for going Epic Store exclusive. No. I'm going on him for acting like a complete and total dick.
Yeah. Okay. So I've seen this story because both Youngya and Sid Alpha covered this, and the vitriol this son of a bitch was throwing at people. Jeez.
Yeah, really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He says, okay, so goofing aside, yes, we've signed with Epic for PC launch exclusivity. It's incredible news for us, and I'm hoping you can all be excited about it too. We asked Epic if we could talk frankly about the situation, and they were like, whatever. So here's a bit of insight into what all this means and why we did it. Who is Epic and what are you talking about? We already covered that. Epic paying for PC exclusives has become the latest thing gamers, TM, have gotten angry about, which I'll talk a bit more further down. Well, nice job of destroying your reputation to own the gamers. You really want to go this route?
Right off the bat, just immediately basically making it clear that they're not going to be respectful or professional about this. No, they're going to be assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like these are the fucking monks that shouldn't be even. They're basically hack developers at this point. Because let me tell you something right now. It's like if you're gonna go, okay, crowdfund my project, and then turn around and go a complete 180 on them, you deserve to have your game fucking shit canned.
Who's running your company? Phil Fish?
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. These guys are pulling a fucking Phil Fish. But no, here's the thing. I can forgive a game studio taking an Epic deal because, well, it's a lucrative offer. I mean, as many have pointed out, they're going to make money no matter what now. They've got a nice fluffy cloud to fall on if they're completely flops. But again, if you're going to take this deal, you have to address your fans. Let you be graceful about it. Listen, I know some of you guys aren't going to like this, but understand we have our reasons. Here's what they are. Just work with us, and we'll try to make this as easy for you guys as we can. No, instead, this asshole decided we're doing this, and you're gonna like it. Fuck you, otherwise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go. Yeah. Now that we talked about that, let me tell you how bad this is in the long term. Okay. Now it's not obvious yet, but what I see happening is hack devs. They're gonna use this as a way to. It's basically a way to avoid the unwashed fans. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First they'll do their little crowdfunding, and then all of a sudden they get the attention of Epic, which they'll pay them buku fucking bucks, which means they'll get money. They'll get a lot of money no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And what it basically does is it basically cuts off the it's basically they're going to use that as a shield. Okay? So what I see happening down the line, and if it happens, mark my words, Epic's gonna back a truck full of money to fucking Zoe Quinn for another project.
Yeah.
You watch.
I'm crossing that bridge before I'm not going to cross that bridge until I get there.
Yeah, but when it happens, I'm going to be playing that "fuck you, I was right" button.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where things hit their nadir, saying, It's also really disappointing to see folks threatening to pirate a game just because you can't get it on the game launcher they're used to. Feeling like you're owed the product or other people's work on your terms, or else you'll steal it, is the epitome of that word entitlement that people use to discuss immature, toxic gamers. I get the appeal of wanting to seek out things to get angry about. Venting anger is cathartic and natural, but let's have a little perspective about what we decide to get angry about. Look at the things going on around you and ask if there might be anything just a tad more worthwhile to be upset about. Here are some suggestions. Climate change, human rights abuses, the new Twitter desktop UI, the last season of Game of Thrones.
Hold on, slow down a second. I want to play something.
Condescending fuck.
Here we go. I got something to play in the background for these morons. Come on. Hold on. Here we go. If you don't know what that is, that's court music from France.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how fucking snooty these assholes are at.
Yeah.
And I do like what
You should make that as a button.
I do like what the last sentence from Billy is on the matter, saying, "How about fuck your game, fuck you, and fuck everybody who buys your game." How's that?
Ooh,
that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I looked at Oblets. I'm not impressed.
It's nothing to write home about. It's just a bunch of dumbass hacked about. I wonder what they look like. I bet you they're soy filled.
Oh, but guys, but wait, it gets better.
Oh,
this
what?
isn't even touching on it. Yeah, there's more to this. See, here's the thing. If it was just that one article, that'd be bad enough. But one of the main heads of this company, or should I say, the other guy, not the main developer, programmer, whatever, but the other guy. Well, actually, both of them are doing this. Have been going on Discord and other social media, and has basically been insulting anyone that questions their decision. Like even with legit arguments. Like one person was like, I live in this other country that doesn't even have Epic Game Store. What am I supposed to do? And they're just like, oh well, fuck you.
Oh god, they went to the Don Matrix School of Marketing.
Yeah.
These guys, this isn't just this one blog post that's been pissing everybody out. It is every fucking thing that has come out of this jack-off's mouth that has just enraged everybody. Again, I highly encourage you, go check out either Young Yeah or Sid Alpha's video on this shit. I don't think I've ever, it's been a while since I've seen Sid Alpha that pissed off about an indie game in my fucking life.
Wow, this is, they went head nose first into fucking Phil Fish territory.
Yeah, they did.
And wouldn't you know who won the pony? Their producer is Double Fine.
Oh, fucking course. Drink!
Wow.
Fucking drink. And by the way, I'm watching that little video of the game Oblets. It looks like the creators of High Guardian Spice decided to fuck a bunch of Fortnite creators and then paint with their period blood and digitize it.
Supposedly, it's a mix of Harvest Moon and Pokemon is what they're basically going for.
Yeah, basically, this is their motto.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Yeah, except we already have something that's going to be a close approximation of that. It's called Slime Rancher.
Yeah, that game's actually fucking good. I would know. I've played it.
Mm-hmm. But now it's time for us to return to our lolcow in Gillette.
Oh yeah.
Game fan, I do want to make clear. Double Fine used to put out good games. Grim Fandango is one of the Grim Fandango and Full Throttle are some of the greatest point and click adventure games you're ever going to find. Brutal Legend is underrated as fuck, and Costume Quest isn't too bad. And of course there's Psychonauts, even though Psychonauts has some difficulty spiking.
But you know what? Yeah. I don't give a fuck. You want to know why? Because fuck Tim Schafer. That's why.
Just stick with the older stuff, and you'll be fine. But I feel if I were sponsored by Dollar Shave Club, I would plug them right now because we need to laugh at Gillette. So they managed to lose $5 billion doing doing that the best a man can be.
Hold on. I thought it was 8.
No, it was somewhere between 5 and 6 billion, depending on how you
I
calculate.
thought it was 8.
Nah.
Took an $8 billion write-down, contributing to a net loss of $5.24 billion.
Oh, so it's an $8 billion write-down. Ouch!
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have another case of get woke, go broke.
Go broke.
Yep.
But wait, there's more.
It gets
Their stupid ass
and-
CEO. You know what his response was? It was worth it.
And remember this.
Okay, let me comment on this. Okay, I get the message, and in a way, they're not 100% wrong, but that was the wrong way of selling it. I think is more of the point here.
Here's the problem. It goes back to what I've been saying about a few weeks ago. They have a new some of these companies, especially these ad companies, they have this weird figment of an imagination that somehow that an ideological economy would basically save them. The same way that it happened during, I believe, in some totalitarian countries. It happened, I believe, in Nazi Germany. It happened in,
Italy.
Was it fascist? Yeah, Italy. It happened in quite a few countries.
Imperial Japan.
Except the problem
It
is
also happened in a few communist countries too.
the problem is with all of those areas that it happened in, they were in authoritarian states, and they're trying to do it in a place with a free market,
which is not gonna work.
No.
Again,
why do you think
the message was decent, but the execution was terrible?
Oh yeah.
And
it was insulting.
And I gotta point this out real quick. Remember, right after all the nonsense with Gillette happened, everybody said, "Oh, their stock price rose up. Their earnings this quarter were good." They said the same thing about Nike. They said the same thing about Netflix. Guess what? The stock price and the earnings are after the fact. They do not represent what your current sales are going to be moving forward. Mark my words, Nike's earnings are going to miss. I guarantee it. It might not be this quarter, but it will happen within the next year. Nike will miss. Procter & Gamble will continue to slide. And Disney, let's see how your next movies do, because I'm looking at a few options trades against you with about a 1 year worth of time decay, because I think you're gonna fucking tank.
Like I said, they want to chase this fucking ideological economy. Here's the problem. How are you going to overcome this in a free market? What? Are you banking on an authoritarian coup?
Who knows? Honestly, I think they're listening.
Who the hell knows?
Well, no, they're listening to their marketing department, and they're giving way too much credibility to Twitter and what the people on Twitter fucking think.
They're giving it's a case where I'm going to end it with this. First off, I think we've established that nobody in any sort of ideology is an economist.
Yeah.
Because they think money is infinite. And second, they have the idea that the grass is greener on the other side, except as I've stated, and will continue to state, it's only green because of the radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You know what? Hold on. I got something to show you.
No,
I know I showed.
I know where you're going with that, and that I'm moving forward.
No. I'm talking about who they're trying to market to.
Yeah, I know where I know where you're going with that, Aaron, and I'm quashing because we need to move forward.
Oh man, because that video is so fucking funny.
I know, but save it for later. So, this was something that I came across thanks to Lauren Chen, who, and this is the case of what the fuck are you, CNN? This is why you ended up losing money. So in their space and science subsection, they're trying to argue that robots at Boston Scientific and other companies being white is somehow tied to implicit racism.
Drink.
So here's the problem. They're arguing this is based on the implicit bias tests, except from what little I've gleaned from the psychologists who actually humored me on this, implicit bias is deemed as inconclusive because of the fact that it is not that any sort of retest is not consistent. I.e., somebody can fall as racist and not racist, and still be the same person with different test results.
Exactly.
Which means if you can't consistently repeat it, then you need to go back to the drawing board. And this is also the reason I could go into why I don't have a high opinion of soft sciences because of the fact that they seem to have a very low bar of peer review compared to hard science.
Here's the deal: there's no such thing as soft science. That we call that shit science.
There is legit science in psychology, but the whole implicit bias thing is not it.
Exactly, it's shit science.
And furthermore, I don't want to look at say Sophia because I get nightmares. So instead I'll just shift gears into us laughing at Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So apparently she has not worked since the picture controversy that she was on the no-fly list.
No simpy.
Yep. And she was subject of a government investigation into whether she was a credible threat.
You know.
Okay, admittedly, if that is true, quite frankly, you guys, whoever had to do that investigation must have felt like a complete moron because she's a fucking comedian. What the fuck is she gonna do?
At the same time, though, it was a dumb skit. It was a dumb skit to do, and it's a skit that would only make sense if you're grossly afflicted with TDS.
Yep. Also, no fucking simpy.
Yeah, I'm still not giving her any fucking simpy. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that some of that no simpy goes both ways.
Here's the thing. Let's just call it what it is. Is she a complete fucking idiot for doing what she did? Yes, she is. It's also a waste of our taxpayer dollars to investigate a comedian the same way it would be stupid to investigate someone like Madonna saying, I'm gonna boom the house of you know what.
I do think she should have been sued for reckless endangerment by saying that she would give blowjobs to anybody who voted for Hillary.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Drink for savagery.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't want any of that. Like I know what she
fucking hot. Let me tell you.
I know what she was getting into in the '80s. I do not want anybody's leftovers.
Yeah, especially leftovers made from Sean Penn.
Oh, and speaking of leftovers, so let's talk about the fact that Snopes decided to try and fact check and try and claim a political affiliation to the Babylon Bee.
Oh God, this.
Oh fuck, Snopes! What the fuck? I thought you were good.
For those who don't know, the Babylon Bee is a satire website, and they are very good at this. The article that caused this kind of triggering was where they said Georgia lawmaker claims Chick-fil-A employee told her to go back to her country. Later clarifies she actually said, "My pleasure."
Wow.
And see, that's not even a Poe. That's obvious satire. That's Onion level satire.
That's what they're going with. It would be like trying to fact check hard drive or P4A.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious as all fuck satire.
Snopes, have you ever heard of the Babylon Bee before this? This goes to show they're probably completely out of touch.
Oh, no, Snopes. I'm gonna disagree with you there. Snopes knows exactly what the fuck they're doing because a bunch of normies actually still think Snopes is an unbiased website. Yeah, these are the same type of people that still trust Snopes are the same people that still think the ADL and the SPLC don't have a political agenda. I mean, I'm not shit talking them. I'm stating an objective fact. It's impossible to look at what any of these groups say and not see a clear political agenda and bias that's being pushed.
Now, I mean, to be honest, I've looked through Snopes. Most of their fact-checking articles tend to be against the right. I've noticed this. They very, very rarely check the left. So,
And I'll give them credit where credit is due. Occasionally, when something ridiculously extreme comes out, Snopes actually will be unbiased. But that happens very rarely.
Homer, that's not called Gray's Law. That's called a Hanlon's Razor.
Hanlon's Razor.
Hanlon's Razor. But it does apply. I believe it does apply.
Yeah,
no, it does apply.
I do have to wonder if Bob Chipman works for Snopes at any point.
I don't know.
I'm giving that one a drink.
Yep.
It's sitting on that fat checking machines. I don't think it. That's probably the reason why it ain't working right.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, let's talk about the fact that Lauren Hirsch, sorry if I mispronounced your name, but I don't give a fuck. Dig up. I was just done roasting you last week, and now you decide to try and explain your race swapping for The Witcher in the worst way possible by saying that it's because America has a long and checkered history of enslaving, abusing, and deriding people who aren't white. I hate to
twice.
I hate to tell you this, but The Witcher isn't a American story. It's a Poland story.
Yeah, really.
Exactly.
I swear to God, someone needs to throw a fucking punch at her.
Yeah, congratulations, Lauren Hirsch. You have now suffered from a case of what I like to call foot-in-mouth disease.
And before
all the symptoms of said disease.
And here's
they're
the
very
thing.
simple, my friend. Hold on. Sorry, go ahead.
Poland has never been the kind of racially diverse that Lauren here wants it to be. And hell, the sole reason why The Witcher ended up getting popular was because of how Polish it was. This is why I guarantee you, when Eastern Europe gets a hold of this Netflix Witcher, they're going to be harsher than I am, because they're going to look at this as a Americanization of effectively their own turf.
Oh boy!
This is why we have foot and mouth disease here from Lauren, because, and as Maddie was asking for, the symptoms are as follows: open mouth, insert foot.
Yeah, and the thing is, the polls are going to look at this as tokenization, and they're going to be mad about it.
I think it's much worse than foot and mouth disease. You want to know what I think it is? Head up their ass disease.
Pretty much, and she tries to use the excuse that a lot of entertainment is made in America. I don't give a shit if a lot of entertainment was made in Greenland. That is no excuse.
Yeah, and you know what? It's also proven once again. They say, but all the entertainment made in America. Well,
apparently she also asked around to Polish friends. Yeah, I'm sure, and I'm sure you also have a black friend too. That can the Slavic culture be reduced solely to skin color? And the answer was, God, we hope not. That is a loaded as fuck question as it is. And the
it's not loaded. I know exactly what it is.
Bullshit! She also tried to use the excuse of this is being made for 190 countries.
Bullshit!
Arch has a whole video where he talks about the myth of the wider audience and why chasing it is a bad idea. Because here's the thing. those 190 countries were not, when it came to the video game, were not interested in an American take on fantasy. They were interested in a Polish story. This is the reason. This is the reason why you have such a. This can also be attributed to why you have such a boom when it comes to anime and manga. You don't see that getting made for 190 countries because that's not what. Because what people want is a very Japanese story.
Right.
Oh, and Mildred, let's use the example that we talked about earlier in the stream. Vinland Saga. What do you expect in a show about Vikings? Well, Vikings. Just like with The Witcher. We're looking at a story that's based in Poland, not Egypt, not China, not the Mongolian Empire, not World War II. We don't expect to see fucking Nazis and US soldiers running around. It's based in fucking Poland.
Or better yet, if you want a more modern take, the Yakuza series.
Yeah.
I mean, that game is as Japanese as fuck. That is Japanese as sushi.
Yeah. So you expect to see mostly Japanese people. You might have a token character here or there, but you expect, a game like Yakuza to be set in Japan. The same way you would expect a game about World War II to be Nazi-occupied France, Nazi Germany, or maybe you're playing over the fucking British channels in Britain. Either way, you expect the setting, especially in a game that's somewhat historically influenced, to have some historical accuracy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this is the exact opposite of what Kingdom Come Deliverance did.
Yeah,
The exact opposite.
And the thing, in fact, I'm pretty sure Daniel Vavra is looking at this Netflix thing and saying, "That's what my game could have been. Glad I didn't take that route." Especially since his game is being used in classes in Eastern Europe.
That's right.
And I only want to talk about this briefly because I thought this was a dick move by PAX for no reason cancel the panel of the Sacred Symbols panel that Moriarty and Chris Ray Gun were going to do.
Yeah, and PAX that haven't given them a reason whatsoever. They just arbitrarily cancel them.
And probably pissed off a lot of people because I guarantee there are a few people who are going to PAX just for that panel. It may not have been a huge amount, but it was a significant enough amount to send that kind of message.
Yeah, and you know what? And I tweeted Colin Moriarty about this. This guy's got a fucking case to sue.
Yeah,
this is classic bait and switch at the least.
Okay, let me ask you this: do any of you think that he would have a basis to sue for tortious interference?
If someone else, here's the thing with tortious interference. That means someone within PAX must have tried to interfere, or someone outside must have called him. The question is, who did it?
Yeah, tortious. Now, TI is a bit of a stretch, I will admit, but I do think that there should be some sort of a false advertising claim could be in there because because let's be honest, if he didn't make this whole thing public, people would have been going to PAX West assuming that Sacred Symbols was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but if this is TI, the question is who made them cancel it? Because if there was an outside source, believe me, and maybe that's why PAX isn't given a reason, because they know why and maybe who made them cancel it, but they're not going to give it out because they don't want another Mark Wade, or they don't want another Funimation or Mark Wade situation.
Yeah. But moving beyond that, so this was a minor thing, and you could argue that this is aimed towards AMD or towards Bungie, but apparently AMD is having a chipset issue when it comes to Destiny 2.
Oh.
Not good.
No, not at all.
Apparently they're going to be issuing a microcode update to motherboard vendors so that they could issue BIOS updates of their own to consumers.
Press X, please.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. Okay, here we go.
It's just... And it looked like Destiny 2 was starting to get on the up and up. And now we need to laugh at Riot for a little bit, because apparently one of their patches for Teamfight Tactics, the auto chess version of League, and they ended up making a change to a patch that made some units way too strong.
So basically, it turned into Fallout 76. Beautiful.
Wait, some units way too strong, so video game Viagra?
If it lasts more than 2
more
hours,
like-
call a doctor.
Nah, more like video game PEDs.
Yeah.
Or steroids.
Now let's talk about Marvel continuing to get cucked by hiring Overwatch writer Alyssa Wong. First off, there are writers for Overwatch.
For fuck's
News
sake,
to me.
drink.
And the same guy who called current EIC CB Sapolsky a racist for the sole reason that he used a pen name when he was working for Marvel's Japanese branch.
By the way, did this bit? I don't know if this is true or not. But this bitch defecate in someone's office over Marvel?
If you're talking about the Stan Lee thing, she's claiming it's in denial. The dates don't quite add up, but given that she already has a track record of wokeness, I'm not going to put it completely past her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the fact that she's apparently pissy that Sapolsky used the pen name Akira Yoshida, which tried to claim cultural appropriation and a bunch of other shit, as well as saying diaspora Asian and mainland Asian discourse and a bunch of other claptrap. I'm like, and you hired this woman. Well, have fun losing more money, and have even more fun with proving Liefeld right. And I can't believe I'm saying, what kind of fresh hell are we living in when Rob Liefeld is the sane man in the room?
This is not right. You have upset the natural order.
Yeah. You know what this is? I'm a little mad we don't have the button for this, but the end is nigh. The end is nigh. Run away. Get to the bottom. The end is nigh. Nah.
Okay, run away.
Yeah, seriously, come on, people.
Yeah, she tried to claim that him working at Marvel's Japan branch under that pen name is white privilege. Now I don't have. I'm not jumping on the Stan Lee thing, because it's either a case of, one, it was fake, or two, she did tweet it and it was part of the ones that got scrubbed, or three, that's what she was actually thinking. She just can't say it because she doesn't have the guts to actually stand up for what she claims to believe in.
Right.
Yeah, because she said that shit. There would be calls to calls to burn her.
Yep.
So instead, she gets to go work at Marvel's, and as they continue to ride the woke train.
But Uncle Ethan had a few things to say on the matter.
Uh-oh.
Now, first off, it came up from this is in response to a thread from Data Racer, who had said that she had posted this thing on the day Stan Lee passed away. Wong claims she never said it, but deleted 40,000 tweets in September. And in 2017, she admits to being a "everyone is racist" SJW.
Oh, they saved the tweets.
Now,
Oops.
Ethan had this to say. So just to make this clear, Crash Wong has offered racist opinions about the comics industry and Stan Lee often in the past. She's deleted all of those tweets, including the one this responded to. Not uncommon. They were all cursing Stan Lee the day he died. See, and then he brings up a few other comments where people were slamming not just Stan Lee but Chris Claremont.
Jesus.
So
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm whether or not that tweet that was subject to controversy was what was actually said by her, that's up in the air. Whether or not she said something close enough, I don't doubt that for a minute. A leopard does not change its spot.
Why do you think I call these idiots parasites?
Yep.
Yeah.
And next we have a case of, and they did this shortly after Alinity got banned. You had a bunch of Twitch stream. You had a bunch of Twitch streamers planning to combat online harassment, a slut stream.
Okay, not only that, and this gets even better.
Come a fucking gun.
Yeah. Ninja, he noped out of there.
Yeah, he got no. He's going over to Mixer now.
And he fucking noped so hard he changed companies. And by the way, I'm still confused, boys. What the fuck is a Mixer? Honestly, I hope it's. Honestly,
you're gonna laugh.
All I'm going to say is, I hope his alcoholic dreams do come true. That's all I'm going to say, man.
Yes, champagne wishes,
and caviar dreams.
Yep.
Now, in the wake of Ninja noping out of Twitch, guess how Twitch celebrated?
Immediately taking his check mark off.
No. Yeah, sort of like that, but it's something else they did. They have give the green light to allow breastfeeding on the stream.
Oh, fuck! Good God.
Okay, here's the thing.
Right.
If you're doing it, I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate on this one because that's just how I am.
Right.
If you're doing it just because you have to and you don't really have time to stop the stream, okay, fine. But if you're if you end up making that the main point of your stream, that's where I'm gonna call fuck you.
A lot of the evidence I found in my investigation was the latter.
Yeah,
here's what I think.
Bullshit on.
Here's what I think.
Agreed. This
is sort of a backdoor way of going softcore chatterbait. Now listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this to make things perfectly clear. Okay. In and of itself, I have no problem with titty streamers. In and of itself.
Exactly.
Here's where the problem comes in. Okay. Most of the said titty streamers are self-righteous hags, i.e. body unicorn. They keep talking about, look at all these booth babes. When in reality, they weren't fucking booth babes at all. They were just shuffle dancers. Mm-hmm. And two, they basically get away with fucking murder on Twitch. All right? They Alinity threw her two instances where she got animal abuse. Even PETA called her out on it, and I do not like fucking PETA.
Yeah.
But this is one time where, you know what? PETA got a point here.
Mm-hmm. That is full on fucking animal abuse.
Yeah, even I had to call bullshit. I don't. So I don't follow those kind of streamers. I hate fucking Alinity, and This was like, oh, she fucked up again. What a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
So
my space.
yeah. So the problem isn't that they're just going on Twitch and showing their tits. I mean, shit. Come on. You're better off going to fucking Chatterbait, in my opinion.
Exactly.
But you're trying to portray yourself as highbrow, motherfucker. To quote Tywin Lannister, "You're not as smart as you think you are."
Oh yeah, Aaron. Let's fucking call this. Sorry to cut you off, Mildra. Let's call out the fucking elephant in the room on this one. We know that fucking policy is going to be abused. It's gonna be abused by all the thought streamers, and then they're gonna sit there and turn around and complain about a bunch of incels and thirsty men who can't get any pussy, and they're gonna claim whatever, give me sympathy, give me more money.
Yeah, and
that's what the fuck's gonna happen.
And these same people they call incels, they're the ones that are paying them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them the time of day when they actually define to me what an incel is, because I'm pretty sure they don't know what it is. I know what it is, and
Yeah,
I know the psychology behind it, and the psychology behind it is fucking depressing. But but then I'm not done because there's a part 2. So I need
Oh wait, there's more.
It gets better.
So they do this whole slut stream, and it was filled with Casey Tron and a bunch of beardies.
Oh, hold on, I have the appropriate response right here.
Yep, drink.
Yep.
Two neckbeards. How
have we not hitting a rise yet?
One confused land whale who thinks he's a chick. One danger hair, and Casey Tron. So
by the way, you're talking about the confused land whale. Is that Jessica Yanev? Oh, speaking of which, tomorrow at 4, Blair White's debating that pederast.
Holy shit! They actually agreed.
Oh,
are you serious?
Watch, she'll duck. That bitch will duck out.
Get the stopwatch.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, please. Out of everything, that has to be a rise at this point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Rise!
All right, I'm hitting the button.
All rise!
Skull!
Skull!
Where's my liquor?
Motherfucking skull! Skull!
Yep.
Yes.
Sound the yaller horn.
Someone call the fucking Kriegsvikings. We got fucking bitches to raid and beer to drink.
I have a suggestion for whoever's the CEO of Chatterbait. Okay? I think there's a solution to this. I don't know. They might be way ahead of me on this. Why don't you start a fucking gaming stream service?
Yeah.
Yeah. If Twitch wants to go that route, have Chatterbait go that route too, and put them out of business, because at least in Chatterbait you'll actually see tits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And hell, we can testify to this. There are plenty of girls who go on Chatterbait who also have Twitch streams for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet they'll switch over a heartbeat.
Oh, I agree. Everything under one fucking roof.
Exactly.
And now it's time for me to Now it's time for me to laugh at Paul Tassi, who normally is a decent reporter at Forbes, but there was one thing that he did regarding the Fortnite World Cup that was really, really stupid. that was his complaint that the solos final had 100 male players and no women.
Wow.
Oh, what? Drink!
And decided to go on about more representation. Here's the thing. If you're going to argue that whole 50% statistic that the ESA put out almost a decade ago,
yeah, the same ESA that doxed everybody.
That statistic was made with as much bad math as the wage gap statistic.
Bad math, bad faith, and complete fucking bullshit. You know what fucking
Once again, refer to the three lies of the universe: white lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Thank you, Churchill. Now he decided to go with the whole more representation on the matter, and got completely blown the fuck out by Mark Kern and pretty much everybody else when he tried to insinuate that gaming is not inclusive enough.
Yeah, and he got ratioed like a motherfucker.
And everybody from Martyr to Ericuts to everything in between decided to roast the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah, I think he got ratioed, didn't he?
Yep. He got ratioed, and he decided to complain about more mentions here. And his counter argument is that people were missing the point about the root causes causing girls to not pick up games when they're younger, or if they do, they're often made to feel unwelcome in the space by exactly the types of people who are claiming there's no representation problem. Here's the thing that you're completely missing. And this was the reason why I hated that initial study when I first saw it. They did not ask what games men and women were playing. The fact is, the majority of that phantom female gaming audience that you want to talk about, Tassie, is not playing Fortnite. Or if they are playing Fortnite, they're not playing it competitively. There is a certain mindset that's required to play competitively, and some people are going to have it, others won't. Unless you're arguing that it needs to be forced, and we already had a situation like that in League several years ago. Anybody remember Team Siren?
I was wondering if you could bring that up.
Oh yeah.
And as Homer points out, none of us are obligated to encourage anyone of any gender to play. Those that play are going to play regardless. And I've had people tell me plenty of horror stories. I've had plenty of women tell me horror stories about how it was other women who tried to bully them out of playing video games, not men.
Yeah, really. Yeah. So Paul Tassi, there's one thing you need to do right now, and that is to do this.
Put your motherfucking head back down.
Let's look.
Yep, and let's just set the record clear. Because we need to, we can, and this is a prime opportunity. Going all the way back to the 70s, why do you think the gamer girl, the tabletop playing girl, the female nerd was always such a rare and unique unicorn running through the spheres? Because girls usually don't have a fucking interest in nerdy shit like that, and the second someone who pops up that is a female and is treated like said fucking unicorn. Because most girls don't care about that shit. And I guarantee you, bet you money, bet my dick, bet my balls, bet my life on it, the second they pop up and you as a guy within those spaces try to fuck over one of those chicks, you're going to be treated like the fucking plague.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We love gamer girls. We love them.
Yeah,
I have had a certain policy when it comes to my table, and it's a policy that I extend to my temple. Everyone is welcome, but you do have to abide by the rules, and you have to respect those who come before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you come in, you're certainly gonna be welcomed, but you are not going to be given a silver spoon. And if you can't hack it, then I'm going to throw your ass out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hell, let's give you an example from my own neck of the woods here, because my wife, Lady K, has popped in here a couple times to say hi. Have you guys treated her like shit? Have you guys bullied her out of here? Fuck no. You've been laughing right along with her when she does stuff. And you know, she joins Mildred at the table for our games all the time, and she's probably one of the best players at the table. You know?
Well, and there's been plenty of times when I've given her shit for jinxing the dice gods.
Yes, but instead of making a bitch fit over it, she laughs right along with us because she knows that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
well, and that's what always pisses all of us. That's what always pisses all of us off, because I'm sorry, coming from a nerdy geek culture that likes tabletop RPG, video games, Warhammer, you name it, throw a dart at a fucking dartboard, we're the most inclusive and accepting group of people you'll ever find. So the fact that these fucking assholes sit here and try to tell us that we're evil, misogynistic, and all this, is like, go fuck yourself. No, we're not. We just don't like we don't like assholes like you.
Exactly. It's like, no, you're just mad because we won't let you at the table.
That's the thing that I always find funny. That's why I had done that. You guys remember I did a musing a few months ago called "In Partial Defense of Gatekeeping."
Oh yeah.
And I had said it's funny that the people who get on me about gatekeeping are the biggest gatekeepers I've ever seen. Because
really.
What they call gatekeeping, and I do have to credit Shades for this, is more accurately known as the douchebag test. Everybody knows the douchebag test.
Yes. If you walk up to you know, we'll do the instance of a family. Let's say you're meeting your girl, a new family or a new girlfriend's family member, girlfriend's brother, and you got this really ridiculous set of shoes on. If the brother says to you, "Hey, what's with the shoes?" and you go, "These are my favorite pair," douchebag. But if he does, and if instead he goes, "What's up with the shoes?" and you respond in, "I don't know, what's up with the shirt?" Brother.
Exactly. That's the thing. We like to rip each other and have fun. It's that simple.
And
better yet, it's basically like the door test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have you seen the Bronx Tale? Yeah.
And besides, I've had to deal with some major level roasting whenever I go to get a haircut, because I have to go down to Minneapolis to get it done right.
Oh.
So the brothers down there will roast you hardcore over anything. In fact, there's a running joke of, you know, you don't see that many black swimmers. You can't trash talk. You can't trash talk with water in your mouth. I would get demonetized, but I don't monetize my channel, so they can't do shit.
Exactly.
Basically,
hey YouTube, here's my middle finger.
Basically, YouTube, we're gonna demonetize you with what fucking money, fuckers?
What money? What we monetized our shit.
But now it is time for the unholy trinity, and oh boy, we've got a full spread tonight.
Yes.
Starting off with the asshats of Activision. Activision fucking sucks. God, I love doing that. So, I actually have a twofer when it comes to Activision. Don't worry. Oh God! I saw what Sal they had posted up. How to draw on a black person: stick a pin in their lips.
Oh. Yeah, that's bad even by our standards.
Anyway.
Then again, I made a joke
about white phosphorus.
Yep, we're talking about Willie Pete, because here's the thing. So the upcoming Modern Warfare is bringing back kill streaks. Good thing. And one of them happens to be Willie Pete, aka White Phosphorus, which is not something you want to fuck with at all.
Or the M34 grenades.
And it's been used in other games like Rainbow Six, Rising Storm, Vietnam, and now it's being used in Modern Warfare, where it can be summoned via a kill streak.
Right.
It's white phosphorus. It's racist.
Now, apparently, Rachel Kaiser wrote up a piece that had a headline saying that some gamers think white phosphorus is too heinous for Call of Duty. Citation.
What?
Yeah, citation needed.
Yeah,
Basically, they're arguing that this somehow diminishes the real life horrors of white phosphorus.
Oh, bullshit! Fucking drink!
And of course, one of the people who decided to write another stink piece on this was fucking Grayson.
Fucking drink!
Yep, that's two.
That the breezy multiplayer feels at odds with its gritty campaign.
Oh, for God.
If you're gonna make that argument, then you could also make that argument about then you'd also have to make that argument about World at War. You see, I know this may come as a shock to you, but there was a point in time when Call of Duty had a significant amount of grit in its single-player campaigns. Just look at World at War or the original Black Ops.
Yeah.
Oh God, we don't even have to go that far. Let's go back to some of the original Call of Duties back when they were set in World War II, where you fucking napalmed the ever-living shit, aka flamethrower, out of fucking people sitting in bunkers that don't have the ability to escape before they get charred and turned into a fucking barbecue.
Well,
Get out of here. Or you can call in a tactical nuke.
I was gonna bring out the Russian campaign in World at War because there's that whole thing of hiding in a pile of corpses.
Which, by the way, that fun fact. That story actually comes from a legitimate survivor of Chosen Reservoir, where after a bunch of American Marines get slaughtered, the Chinese soldiers who came over the northern border were just stabbing piles of dead bodies, making sure they were fucking dead, almost got bayoneted himself, only to somehow survive. So, yeah, white phosphorus is heinous. How about you fucking watch the military channel and watch a few documentaries and figure out exactly what heinous acts of war are?
Yeah.
Well, Southey brings up Spec Ops, and that was one of the things they tried to use in their argument. That because of how seriously Spec Ops treated Willie Pete, that they should have done the same treatment, except the kind of game that Spec Ops was doing, which was trying to be a nod to the Heart of Darkness, the story that would eventually be adapted into Apocalypse Now, and the kind of story that Modern Warfare is trying to tell are not the same thing. And also, it's really stupid to have that level of seriousness about the multiplayer when, does anybody remember what the top Does anybody remember what the top kill streak was back in Modern Warfare 2?
90? I'm guessing at this point.
I don't know. I thought it was like.
I think he means what the item was or what the ability was.
Yeah.
How to make a Modern Warfare 2 player shit themselves?
Was it a tactical nuke incoming?
Jack Nuke, it's over. Yeah.
No, I think was it 30 or 20 where you could get the tac nuke.
I don't remember how much it is, but when that was the top kill streak, and you're focusing on it on the multiplayer needing to focus on the horrors. It's like they're trying to do two different things. But
it's like, dude, we're trying to have a fucking video game here, not a fucking warfare documentary. Like,
seriously.
If you're gonna make that kind of argument, should I have to include a documentary the next time I break out Tide of Iron at a convention?
Well, apparently, according to this person's
But
logic.
the dumbest argument was from Tim Sutton.
Oh, good God. Preemptive drink.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
We're about to score. Like, I can feel it.
Who said, by the way, the reason I've been getting yelled at all day is because I implied that doing war crimes in video games for fun might be bad for your brain in the long run. Lol.
Skull.
Rise. Good idea.
Rise.
Yep.
Rise.
Here we go again.
How many rises is that?
Four.
I think this is the fifth.
Oh, that's 5, yeah.
Where's my liquor?
Skull.
Skull.
Skull. Skull. Motherfucking skull.
You know,
The NPC stupidity never ceases to deliver.
This is why I'm glad I will never go that far. I mean, I'm more likely than most of you fuckers, but I will never go extreme. And if I ever do, please shoot me.
Although I do like some of the responses he got. First, Kate decided to blow him the fuck out by saying, "Then you insult people around you if you don't want to suggest we are incapable of separating fiction from reality. Doesn't matter how desensitized the brutal fatalities I get on in the game. My brain knows the difference when it sees real shit."
You know, let's just put it this way. Here's the problem: if you don't like how the game is being presented, go play something else, you idiot.
Exactly.
I think we can find a few Barbie games that might suit you. They're at your
Or yeah,
there's one on NES that AVGN fucking hates.
Or how about no. Go further. Have them play Desert Bus.
Oh God.
Yeah. Lock him in a room, and the only way to escape is to play Desert Bus for 24 hours.
No, boys. That's not enough. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
There we go. That's
Make it one step further. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and they have to get the extra ending. They can't just beat the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
But Jeff Smith, the multiplayer design director, had a few comments to say on the matter. Here's what he had to say. And first he had to explain how it works in game, and then said they are not trying to make a statement about the devastating capabilities of white phosphorus, saying our game is more about two sides. That there is no bad guy or good guy. You play either one. We're just creating this playground to play on. He added, I always felt in the previous games that multiplayer is the distant weapon fire that you hear a few blocks away from where single player is. But then he added one other. He questioned why the inclusion of white phosphorus is generating so much buzz as opposed to the inclusion of nuclear weapons in the past, saying, maybe people are reacting to the photogrammetry, the more realistic visuals. Maybe if it was more cartoony, that would be acceptable.
Oh, drink.
No.
Drink.
This isn't drink. He's throwing shade.
Oh.
Yeah. He's basically saying, "Oh yeah, you fuckers think you guys think you know what you're talking about? Fuck you, assholes. No, I'm with this guy.
Drink for shade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, drink for shade. If anything, drink on his behalf. Complete.
Yep. By the way, I'm still standing by. I'm not going to give ground on this one because I'm standing by it. Unless you have actually fucking been in a war zone and seen white phosphorus, I don't give a fuck what visuals a video game manages to give you. I don't care if it's VR. I don't care if it's the most realistic thing you've seen in your life. If you haven't actually seen it in real life, don't fucking talk. It's a bullshit argument to begin with. It's a bullshit argument to stick to. And it's bullshit no matter how much you try to fucking push it. It's a goddamn video game.
Pretty much. I do think it's hypocritical to and this is what I want to focus on. It's a bit of double talk to get so butthurt about white phosphorus in a game where you can drop tactical nukes.
Yeah, pretty
agreed.
But I see what's coming next, and Monk,
yeah, this
I might have to
was
take
the
one.
appetizer.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So let's talk about Crash Team Racing.
I knew Monk had
Boys, prepare to spoil.
Are we gonna make it to 6 rises through tonight's stream?
No, I'm putting a moratorium.
Yeah.
I think after 5, that the moratorium kicks in.
But yeah,
He don't want us to die,
I
huh?
was the one that posted this one, and oh god, yeah. I've said this before, and I will say this again. We talked about last week how bitch Bethesda decided to fuck over classic Doom. Well, now the asshats at Activision have decided to fuck over classic Crash Team Racing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So here's the deal. Allow me, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
So they have recently, with the release of the new Crash Team Racing Remastered, or Nitro Fueled, we should say, they have added a in-game shop to the game where you can buy skins and for your cars and everything else like that. And people started to realize very quickly that it was very hard to grind up the necessary coins in game to get those particular gears. And what's even better, as I'm sure Mildred would love to point out, is this also kind of had a tiered item effect. Some items were very easy to get, and some were difficult because in the shop, the items rotate on a regular basis. So certain items will be available for sale, and some others will have to wait. You can already see where this is going.
Not only did they throw in microtransactions, they tried to do a fucking battle pass.
Yeah.
Oh god.
After they had specifically promised there would be no microtransactions in CTR,
they fucking
here we
lied.
are.
Yep.
They lied.
Yeah, it's fucking Kotick.
Yep. And as the monk mentioned, yeah, there's also the Grand Prix setup, which is their battle pass. So yeah, the double dose of fuck you, Activision.
Yeah.
And I think you deserve every bit of bile and vitriol that's coming your way over this.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Bobby
You fucked
Kotick
over
once
a
again
classic.
getting
You
greedy.
deserve-
And to think I defended these fuckers 2 weeks ago when there was that controversy over one of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord. Yeah. Just when you thought they had a chance, they fucked over a classic. No fucking sippy.
Oh yeah.
No simpy.
But that's our first entry in the Unholy Trinity. Because now it is time for the second one. EA, egregious assholes.
What did the gang do this time?
Yeah.
Well, first off, the Aussie Mitt Romney decided to open his gob again.
This motherfucker again.
Yeah.
So he's trying to argue that subscriptions combined with cloud services will lower the barriers to gaming.
What?
Here's the problem. That's called double dipping.
Yeah.
Guys, I have the perfect button for this comment.
Oh shit! Oh my god, you're such a loser. Oh shit! Oh shit! Wait.
Hey, Australian Mitt Romney. MJF is better than you, and you know it.
Goddamn right, too. Sweet me.
So here's what he tried to say. With games becoming an increasingly important part of our lives, subscriptions offer compelling new value propositions for players. Press X.
Oh, boy. Here we go with the bullshit language again.
Mm-hmm.
Other industries have demonstrated how subscriptions fundamentally shift consumer behavior. We consume more television content in different ways because of video subscriptions, and brings up other mediums. Except, here's the thing: all of those other mediums you're bringing up are passive experiences. This is why I always said trying to make a Netflix of video games was always destined to fail.
Yeah, and of course it's full of fucking flowery language and platitudes and cliches. Just like what's that coach for just like Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Bullfrog. And he tries to say that this sort of thing combined with cloud streaming would make it more compelling to jump into new games and connect with new communities. I call bullshit because you want to know who's done the best job at connecting people with new games? Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
Stuff like Humble Bundle, communities like our free games, and various YouTubers who try and focus on games outside of the norm. Oh yeah, and streamers who play indie games.
Yeah. Think about this. Let's think about this. I'm going to take one of the most obvious examples of how an indie game would have never sold if it wasn't for the influencers on YouTube. And everyone's going to know what game this is. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Mm-hmm.
Love it or hate it. Love it or hate it. That game would have never sold a single copy if people like PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye hadn't played it. But the minute they did, that game exploded and turned into a fucking franchise.
And we are all the worse for it.
Oh yeah.
Like I said,
yeah.
And like I said, $1 million in my pocket, I'll play 5 minutes of that fucking horse shit.
Yeah, but
Not
this whole lower the
Yeah.
barriers feels like he wanted to say wider audience, but he knew that if he said that, he'd get skewered. Well, fuck it, I'm skewering him anyways because I've got an open flame, so it's time for a spit roast. But then he decided they decided to go with something even worse by saying its customers just aren't interested in Switch ports. And this was in response to the idea of putting The Sims on Switch.
For fuck's sake!
If there is any console that The Sims should be going on, it's the fucking Switch, you idiot!
It's like a custom-made glove.
Fucking moron!
What are you thinking, EA?
Actually,
EA's
again,
had a hate boner for Nintendo for decades. Name me one console that they've actively gone out of their way to market to. I mean, they've put games on the Switch, on Nintendo platforms, but when have they ever actually been buddy-buddy with Nintendo when it comes to actually marketing games on the Switch?
I'll tell you why they're so pissed at Nintendo. It's because of this. They have eased up their censorship. That's what happened. And EA is all about that crap.
No, I'll do you one better, Aaron. I will do you one better. You know why EA won't play nice with Nintendo? Because Nintendo won't cater to their cheap-ass tax.
Yeah.
Well, and Nintendo was willing to play ball with the guy who ended up getting bankrupted due to loot boxes, because all those purchases were made through the Switch, and they were willing to play ball and actually give QA to that family, whereas EA was complete radio silence. And of course, there's the fact that every EA release that's been on Switch has always been the inferior version. Even the most recent version of FIFA, every reviewer says if you're getting this game, get it either on PC or on one of the consoles. Don't get it on the Switch.
Right.
But the last bit of the unholy trinity, and I think we're going to hold off on the main event this week for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Is our original one, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a bit of a smaller one. That's a bit of a follow-up. The Bold and the Bitch Thesda.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Hold on a second. Here we go.
Yes, The Bold and the Bitch starring Todd Howard and pretty much Todd Howard.
And with the guest star being Kotaku. Drink!
Yep.
It's time to play Wheel of Kotaku.
So you guys remember how last week we ripped into Wolfenstein Youngblood, and the game was apparently so bad that Skill Up rage quit on his stream. He
noped out of there.
Because one of the main reasons why is the game has a very bad understanding of checkpoints. Namely, that once you engage in a mission, if you somehow end up getting both characters killed, you go right back to the start of the mission.
Fucking really?
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm willing to bet that some of those missions can be quite long.
Yeah, this happened near the end, and it sent him to the beginning of the base, and at that point he was like, "I'm out." And hell, Arch and Kibbs were going to do a co-op stream, and they couldn't even get the co-op to work.
Man,
I believe there is the appropriate button for this.
Bring for abject failure.
Okay, Bethesda, here's what you need to do. Give it back to the rightful owners.
Machine Games has whatever promise they had with the Old Blood and the New Order is all but dead. And while those games are good, I firmly believe that Machine Games should be publicly flogged for the new Colossus and now for Youngblood. Especially since nobody is interested in these Life is Strange motherfuckers. People were playing Wolfenstein for Blowjob Blaskowitz. Thank you, Arch, for that particular nickname. But what we have here is Kotaku trying to create a false narrative. Where Joshua Rivera made an article called Wolfenstein Youngblood's microtransactions aren't even worth getting mad at. And speaking of which, I should point out that the first update they did for Youngblood was to fix an exploit that people were doing through Cheat Engine in a single-player game. Where people were finding workarounds to give themselves a larger amount of money and skill points so that they could work around the grind. It's kind of like what happened when Ubisoft got really pissy at people abusing the quest creator for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because in doing this, it effectively made the XP boost microtransaction irrelevant.
So, of course, they fixed that immediately because they can't lose their precious cash cow, but they can't go out of their way to fix the actual problems that are making the game nearly unplayable at times.
Exactly.
Or the fact that they decided to make a looter shooter without any actual loot.
Right.
But it goes on to say that Wolfenstein Youngblood is a game with microtransactions, which is another way of saying there are some who will object to its existence out of principle. Yeah, the people who object out of principle are called people who actually pay money for games. Some people became so angry about microtransactions in the new games that they harassed one of its lead-level designers, Mitya Roskarek, on Twitter, causing him to have to lock his account. Oh, we're going with the harassment thing? In response, developers across the industry tweeted out messages of support. Oh god, we're doing the milkshake again.
Oh, here we go.
They argued beyond that, the microtransactions in Youngblood aren't even that obtrusive. That's not the fucking point.
No, it isn't. It's the fact that there even exists at all is obtrusive intrusive. So shut the fuck up and take them out.
Yep.
Exactly.
However, apparently he received less than a handful of negative responses, far from the outpouring of harassment that's claimed here.
Here comes the ratio, kids.
A Reddit user known as Sodium Muffin searched Twitter for tweets mentioning Roskarik's username since before the game was released, finding only one negative exchange. Roskarik reassured a player concerned with the presence of microtransactions in Youngblood that they would be purely cosmetic, no one cares, upon the game's release. And upon discovering that the microtransactions also included gameplay boosters on launch, the player responded with an image with the Tyler the Creator image saying, "So that was a fucking lie."
Now that was it's like Chris Hansen going down the list. Now that was a lie, and that was a lie, and
Maury Povich is the better one. Like you said, this game would not include any non-cosmetic microtransactions. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
That was a lie.
Yep.
Sodium Muffin found one other instance of negativity in a response to Roskarik's defense of the game's microtransactions. Another user expressed his reasons for disliking them, and the above-mentioned Alex provided a screenshot as proof that Roskarik was a liar, causing the user to become more dismayed towards the release of Youngblood. Saying, MTX existing might not be intrusive, but they're annoying, and many times game design gets influenced by their existence. I haven't played Youngblood, so I don't know if this is the case with that game, but I am dissuaded from playing by the inclusion of MTX. Then Alex pointed out he is a liar. He said, and I assume the game is a tedious grind without those boosters. Now I'm dissuaded even more. I just wanted a cool co-op adventure, not all this bollocks. That counts as harassment? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, are you fucking serious?
It seems like a lot of these developers, the idea of constructive criticism is offensive. Like they don't, if they're not getting anything other than praise to the heavens above, they are being harassed. Well, you know what? Here's harassment for you. Fuck you, asshole. I ain't buying your shit.
Yep.
And I get, no, where's you then go. Then there was apparently an update that claims that the booster options were removed, along with the option of paying for boosters with gold bars, and they updated the story. Here's the thing. 1, your editor should have been doing his actual job in editing. 2, this is what happens when you jump on a story. This is why I sit on stories when I can. And 3,
exactly.
For all of the talk of some guy getting harassed, you know what? At least when I get shit thrown at me, I'll actually screen cap it, or I'll look at Mark who does not delete his tweets when he gets shit thrown at him, and he's gotten plenty of shit thrown at him. But here's the thing: if you think constructive criticism is harassment, then you are really going to hate what somebody like me has to say, because I am not going to give you kid gloves. If you want kid gloves, then I'm pretty sure Chris Hansen has a few words to say to you.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, one story that always comes to mind is the instance of Ratchet and Clank All for One. No, there was no Smash. But specifically, when Jim Sterling ripped that game a new asshole, some of the devs at Insomniac messaged him and said, "Yeah, that was shit, and we apologize."
Yeah, really.
That is a case of taking your lumps. And if we can't use that, let's use a more recent example, Bloodstained. Iga got raked over the fucking coals for the original graphics with his first trailer of the game. And he could have taken the same route that this guy did of going harassment. But instead, he said, "I'm going to prove them wrong. But before I do that, I need to throw this glass of wine against the ground."
Because that's Iga for you, and Iga's a badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So he used the extra time that he got with the delays to make things look better. And lo and behold, when the final game comes out, people like it.
Yeah, I myself included, because thanks to this big motherfucker over here, I got the game, have played it, pretty much beaten it at this point, and love the shit out of it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I always find it ironic that these sort of people talk about gamers being entitled, like the one designer we talked about a few hours ago.
Oh yeah.
Whereas they're the ones who are acting like they are magically entitled to getting a positive response.
That ain't it, Chief.
You have to. You gotta earn that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that I can't help but notice, you very often see this level of entitlement in people jumping into long-running franchises. Like I'm pretty sure this person thought that because they were working on Wolfenstein, then that meant that they were going to get all the praise because of how great the New Order was.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, it's a case of what have you done for me lately, aka why Stephen A. Smith will continuously beat the shit out of the Cowboys.
Right.
Although some of that is deserving of praise, like going into a room full of Cowboys fans with a shirt saying "accident waiting to happen."
Yeah, that's Bethesda right now. They're an accident waiting to happen.
No, not waiting to happen. They're just an accident.
Yeah.
The accident has already long since happened. I mean, I have to mention Fallout 76 for the millionth.
Yeah.
Fallout 76 and you know, some people think that I only started slagging on the Elder Scrolls when Skyrim came out. That is not true. The Elder Scrolls has been my whipping boy since Daggerfall.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can all these years and you still can't do melee combat.
Ugh. Seriously, and this is why, once again, I have to bring up the fact that I am a huge fan of indie developers. Though the Ooblets people can go fuck right off, as far as I'm concerned, but that's beside the point. They are the exception that proves the rule.
The Ooblets team loses their indie card.
Fair, agreed. No, most good indie developers, they listen to their fans because they know that their fans are going to be what makes them the money.
Mm-hmm.
And while they may not be able to give them everything they want, they at least do their best and will explain themselves if they can't deliver. But usually they do. And when they do, people are happy, they buy their game, and they walk away laughing to the bank.
Yeah.
Mainstream developers, the AAA developers, they pretty much got it in their heads that, oh, we are a major publisher who are running a well-known, beloved franchise. We have nothing to lose, so we can just fuck around all we want. But eventually, that train's going to come back around the track, and it's going to bite them in the ass hard.
Yeah, they think
franchises are going to die.
Yeah, they think the problem is they treat those franchises like they're fucking brands. They think the brand's just going to sell them, but the problem here is you keep putting shit after shit after shit, the brand gets damaged, and by the time you put out something good, no one's going to give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That brand immunity doesn't last forever.
Very much so. And further, as a final note, it's important to never bite the hand that feeds you, because if we want an excellent case in point when it comes to this sort of thing, let's look at the one company that can be considered AAA that is the complete antithesis to this line of thinking. CD Projekt Red managed to get a shit ton of orders for the game before they had even put out proper gameplay footage. Why?
Yes.
They have 3 games worth of rapport that they've built up of quality material, and all the stuff that they've put out in the intervening time between the original announcement and its current form has not dissuaded anyone.
And not only that, they decided to do away with pre-order bonuses. Everyone gets the same game aim on the opening fucking day, which I think that's the way it should be.
And between that and all of the hype they built up for the game for Cyberpunk, I mean, come on, Keanu Reeves, for fuck's sake, you're breathtaking. That kind of shit gets people's attention, and I'm going to guarantee you that CD Projekt Red, despite any other complaints that anyone might have about them, they're going to be taking those minor complaints and laughing all the way to the fucking bank.
Yeah, and this is why I think the NPC the gaming me, the crap to this idiots. This is why they're shitting on CD Projekt, because they know if they hit it big, EA, Activision, Bethesda, every one of these iniquitous AAA developers, they're in serious trouble.
They know it. They know the writing's on the wall. So they're trying to do everything they can to discredit CD Projekt Red, but they can't because the gaming community knows what's up. They see it, and they're like, no, we like this. We want more of this. Where are you fuckers?
That's right. And that's what pisses me off, especially about Rockstar. You know, here's what they need to do in the future, and I know GTA 6 is going to come out someday. So I think at that point, Rockstar needs to just stop listening to that idiot Zelnick and go back to your fucking roots.
Well, I don't think we're going to get another Midnight Club, so that's out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I wouldn't say Midnight. I'm saying when they make their next GTA game, you know what? The online shit, it can go fuck itself. Just stick to the single. Just put some more content for single player.
And we had although I get the feeling some of the expansions that were put out with previous GTAs would be a little too triggering. Like, say, the Ballad of Gay Tony.
Oh yeah.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the best expansions for GTA 4.
Yeah.
And also give me some physics to fuck around in. I want to see the return of the swing set.
Yeah, there's a reason why the Saints Row series took your concept and made it better, you fucker.
Yeah, really.
But that should about do it. I do want to thank everybody who stuck around for this iteration of the Monastery. I do sincerely apologize that we ended up starting an hour and a quarter later than normal.
Yeah,
I had
tech difficulties.
Tech difficulties, and Lady Luck decided to fuck with me 6 ways from Sunday.
Oh, you're not the only one. They fuck with me too.
And which leads me to ask Lady Luck one important question. What does Marcellus Wallace look like? But I will most definitely be back with 2 things tomorrow. The first one I'm probably going to record really early so that I don't end up forgetting about it when I get back from work. But I'll be doing day 5 of RPG a day, and later that night on Monday night, I'll be doing the premiere of what I was intending on doing 2 weeks ago, but I got sidelined because I was under the weather, and then the week after, Ononaki took a little bit longer than anticipated. Although I do love how quickly that thing went from looking tropey to nope. Like,
yep.
Oh, this looks kind of tropey, and then 10 minutes later, double assisted suicide.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember I was there for that.
Mm-hmm. And because of that, things are different. But things are definitely going to get interesting with future streams, because I'm tackling an RTS for the first time in the Monastery streams. Not my first time playing an RTS, obviously. Ooh. But we are finally tackling Golem Gates.
Nice.
I've intended on doing this for a while, and we're finally doing it. And even though the card thing, once again, the card thing might raise an eyebrows, but there's no microtransactions. You want better cards in this thing, you earn them.
Get good, scrub.
Yep.
And hey, I've been waiting for this sort of mix of RTS and card battle since Battleforge shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and a final note, and I know you tried to sway me from doing this. This audience that these idiots like to keep chasing, check out the console, not the one with the nuke button, the one before it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is
the audience they want.
Yeah.
I will take a look at that. I will take a look at that a bit later. But until then, on behalf of the good brothers present and not present, my name is Mildra. I am your gaming monk. Stay fucking frosty, everybody, and fuck the WotC.